quickly destroy the archaeotech engine.
Nothing can be done hastily and prudently, Brother Barakiel.
So answers an apothecary.
I'm in place.
I am in place.
Xenos are uncounted.
In position.
Waypoint reached. All die.
Quickly destroy the Archaeotech engine.
Nothing can be done hastily and prudently, Brother Barricade.
So answers an apothecary.
I'm in place.
I am in place.
The Xenos are uncounted.
In position.
Waypoint reached. All die.
Jesus Christ.
But I mean, he was. Ability to talk your way into anything.
That's being able to sell your work.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, he, like I said, he ran that Honda shop. There wasn't another one for 40 miles. So,
Damn.
and he managed to run it into the ground, but
Well, that sucks.
well,
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
no.
Okay, sounds
Okay,
good.
no.
All right.
Okay,
Let's see here.
I'll have to watch my language. My grandson might be tuning in. So, because
All right, I'll do the
you gotta
same.
come see. I want you to come see what a lifetime of 40K will do to a man.
Yeah. Yep. 1 second. I'm grabbing a power source so I can walk around. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what it will do to a man.
Or you need to take up something safe like meth or skinny dipping with sharks or something.
Anything
The
but
neighborhood.
plastic crack.
Not so crack.
Anything but plastic crack. Anything. It's more addicting than anything.
That's the crack is whack.
All right.
Okay, you're not on YouTube quite yet.
I'm not.
No, I'm still seeing the Badger sign page.
The Badger signal.
The Badger signal. Run!
The signal just appears in the sky, and he's like, "I feel great rage coming on."
And extra crayons. I'll look over on Twitch too. Okay, you're on Twitch.
Technical difficulties.
So just YouTube, Black.
Song of Ruin.
Hello.
Oh no, a girl. Oh my god, we hate girls in this hobby. Oh my god.
A girl, where?
Girls don't exist.
I'm just a bot.
Beep, boop. Okay, Gina. Boop, bop, beep.
Did you refresh your page
I did.
on YouTube?
Let me try it again.
And anybody who's
I'm just
feels like
the chat's
They're the
live.
same.
It's running, but it's just the Badger page.
well, it doesn't make any sense because I can see it on my computers. You don't see anything?
You're on Twitch, so
Yeah, I know, but I meant for YouTube. I could see it on there too.
Huh.
You don't see
It seems to be running fine, at least on the app.
Yeah, I know, but I meant for
That's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. The Discord kind of borked it. Your picture looks fine in app, but on Discord it's squished.
What do you mean? Like you're looking at the table?
Let's
No,
see.
like we're looking half a screen.
Yeah. Oh, half a screen. Well, there should be 2 screens. 'Cause I had to keep or grab one of those to broadcast it. So I don't know.
Damn it, Badger.
Ah, okay.
Well,
Now it's okay.
Like-
Now just I need to change the.
It looks fine on YouTube though.
That's weird.
okay.
It's not-
Okay, how?
Badger's got his New Balance on. He's officially with Dad mode.
Those are not New Balance. Those are
He took offense to
Merrill's.
that one.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
You want to see this?
Let's see.
My wife's like, I gotta see this. She's like, I've heard you
Oh.
talk about it enough.
You got no idea. All right, so for those that will be looking at this later, this is, yes, you're looking at the door in. This is my sanctuary. This is where I leave the world behind. And when I do, this is what we're looking at.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
My wife has a look of horror on her face. She's like, no, no.
See that? Tell her this could be you.
This was well, it's part of the basement. But what I've done is the whole room is a model.
Oh.
These pipes are not real. I mean, they're real pipes, but they're not connected to anything. They're it's basically to give a little bit of a Space Hulk feel, because that's like my favorite or whatever. I have 2 of these idiots right here.
Damn.
What the?
I only purchased one, but they sent me 2. So
Is that from the? It's not from the game, is it?
Yep, sure is.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I'm watching
Remember?
horror found footage.
Yeah. Why is it
Monkeys
shaking too
down.
much?
Monkeys down.
The way
Yes.
that, the image looks.
What do you?
It looks good.
What do you
It looks
mean?
good. It's just this
Okay. Wait, are you looking on Discord or YouTube?
Discord. You're fine though.
Okay.
I'm looking on Twitch. It looks good on Twitch.
So for this right here, this is the one little box that's not Warhammer. And this is so my little man can come play in here and do whatever he wants to do. And he's got a barrel of monkeys, and he can use the jungle board or whatever. This is what gaming used to be like, as many of you probably remember, you know, when we owned our game. There's way too many.
What a novel idea.
I know, right? And then this is also kind of the family movie room, I guess, in a way. And I didn't realize it when I mounted the TV, but apparently Dad has the best seat right in front of it.
Sorry, kids. You'll just have to crane your neck to the right.
Pretty much.
They're young,
This
Know their place.
this thing right here actually folds down so that if I ever do get a computer down here, I can put a keyboard and all that on it over my lap.
Nice.
Let's see here. Yeah, again, the pipes don't do anything.
What you're telling us is you're a tourist.
Yes, I am. You have no idea.
The most touristy of tourists.
Oh man.
Right. So this board here, it's 4x6 normally, but put that down for a minute. You can extend it to 8 feet. This will actually come up,
Nice.
and you have these under here. It wasn't hard to build, and then this cable thing was just here, so I just utilized it. And then this piece right here, sorry, comes off right by these right here, so that you can extend it. Or if you're not playing with it that long, your dice aren't falling on the floor. Let's see, before we get to all the models, this is the painting area and some of what remains of the models that have not been put together.
Wow.
I wish you could see this expression I have next to me. It's just like, what in the absolute hell is wrong with you people?
Jesus Christ.
He got paid by the government. A lot of money to be good.
I got
God damn,
I got into this hobby in '98, and it was fun in the beginning until ex-wife pretty much destroyed everything that I had. And so when I started over, yeah, it was pretty bad. And this isn't even near the books. They're all upstairs in my office, but my dogs will be going nuts. Some of you guys may remember some of these collectibles or whatever. I am also, as CDAT says, a dice goblin. There's
the
those.
dice dragon.
Wait.
then-
That's Lucius button. Drop
There's some more in here, and in this box, and there's another bag somewhere. I don't know.
If you can lay all your dice on the ground and put them all on the ground and lay on them without touching the floor, you're officially a dice dragon. I think you've made it.
Yeah, I could do that. I know I could do that. So I have literally sorted everything. From the amount, what was it? 1,219 Space Marines I think we had. That was just what's in the package boxes. That's not what's left. I can't even tell you how many Space Marines, are in there and whatnot. And it's got nothing to do with the armies that are currently put together. And the next project is to put all the rest of these drop pods together. There are 18 of them left to go for the rest of them. I think a total of 32, something like that. I don't remember. This is not one row of models. There is a second row behind that. So
when do you start your store? You've got all the stock laid in, so when do you start your store?
Yep,
Right,
before
no.
after you paint your armies.
So, and I'm gonna tell you, the more that I put together, it's a crazy feeling. It's when you start seeing shelves that are blank or blank spaces, I don't know, it almost diminishes, what I did to a point. And then I remember that I'm not playing with any of this stuff and I paid for it. Yeah. Anyway, all of this, as you guys can see, you probably already know these boxes and whatnot.
Horace who?
Yeah, Lubriderm, something like that. All of these boxes are empty now. All the knights that I have are put together, and we'll see those in a minute or a little bit. Adeptus Titanicus, which I've waited, 20 years to play, and I have a few things put together, and I've only played one game with one warlord against another to try to understand how it goes. Hopefully this isn't blinding you guys because of the light. I have 2 of these boxes. The other one is somewhere else because I'm trying to turn it into an actual game board. This is 2 rows of these McFarlane things.
Look at this. If your wife ever has to have you committed, this video will be admitted as evidence.
Okay, so all right. So I'm glad you said that because you just reminded me about something. I want to show you just how supportive my wife is. All right, clearly everyone can see this is a woman's handwriting, right?
Oh yeah.
Or Danny's, but
Yeah, well, same difference.
this was my wife's contribution to helping me make my own Space Hulk rules. I forget how many there are. It's not that many on this card, but there's a whole book that we made. But this was her helping me write the rules for it. Hours of play testing. And she gave me the idea of going ahead and painting these walls gray and stuff because it was kind of like this wood right here, and I don't like that anyway, so I may go back and do those as well. But no, my wife is this wife. My ex-wife, not so much, but the only wife that matters anyway. We'll put it that way. She's very supportive.
Great answer.
But that was also, kind of the deal. I mean, I told her our first date, look, I don't ask permission to do anything because I used to do that. I don't do it anymore. And she doesn't have to either. You know what I mean? And I think that's how a relationship should be. We should be able to trust each other and whatnot. And then behind this, so these are empty boxes. I just put these rhinos all together. And I'm saving the artwork so I can make some, stuff like that. But I'm actually torn on that now because I'm not sure I want to clutter the walls with pictures. But behind here, I know everybody's like, where's the damn minis? Nobody cares about this. These, by the way, these are all bits.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, tons of bits. Just to give you an idea, that's just orc bits.
So how long after you met your wife initially did you spring this on her?
I think a month later, when we went to my actual house in North Carolina.
Stuck around.
I don't know if you can see, but this entire shelving unit is nothing but board games that hopefully we and the kids will be able to play together and enjoy.
Keep an eye on those D&D ones because I think those are based on 4th edition. So
I have no idea. I just knew they had miniatures, and I knew that
those are hard to find. That's all I was saying.
Because I did. Yeah. Okay. I will. Well, I don't get rid of anything, as you can clearly tell.
I think you take care of it so you don't break it and have to replace it.
Right. Well, and that's why it's up here out of the reach of little ones. As you can see, we've got Warhammer everything from Risk to Fantasy Flight games. I do have this X-Wing game because Star Wars was technically my very first sci-fi anything when I was a little kid. I had everything you could imagine, and then our house burnt down, and I lost it all.
Yeah.
So, back to this is the airbrush station. Does everybody notice how clean it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I'm very bad at using it. I just sit over here and just do it. So there's that. Considering I have horrible lung issues, I probably shouldn't do that, but whatever. This is a ton of stuff that most people will be like, I don't understand why he has all this crap. These are helpful tools, believe it or not. And while I won't go into it in this video, anyone has any questions on this, I'd be happy to tell you. But I mean, in my opinion, they are essential, and you just always seem to find things, like this right here. The most valuable thing you have if you have an airbrush, it's Windex. It's the cheapest thing you can buy to have to clean your airbrush. versus buying, you know, airbrush cleaner, which can be super expensive, but at least over time and in this economy. There are more models down here: Necromunda, objective markers, bases, Blackstone Fortress, another Sky Shield landing pad. What is that? Space Hulk terrain and bases. And then a game I've never had a chance to play, but I kind of want to. It's called Infinity. The models look really cool. They got a badass female archer in there. That's really why I bought it. Vallejo paints, and those are the airbrush ones that I've never used. And then, of course, I put all my GW stuff into dropper bottles. It was definitely worth the time and effort. And I put things, this is really why I wanted to do this video too, was if you'll notice, it's not just that it's neat. I have only the stuff that I feel like I need to use. That's why you have this stuff here and not over here. The stuff that I need right away or will constantly use right next to me. Everything else, if I really need it, then I'll go and look for it. But, you know, keeping it near me keeps me motivated to paint. You have, you know, these things, like my wife, I feel bad. She bought me all of these, like for her birthday or Christmas or something. I got this one in the Imperial magazine thing. And then I go and make wooden dowels. So, because they're easier to deal with. And I don't have to worry about if I paint them. Got another McFarlane Terminator back there because, again, for me, and just these boxes are full of all these models, by the way. These have not been opened, and I will keep these boxes because they remind me of what GW used to be like when you could get really good deals. And now it's just not the case. But by putting them here, it reminds me or motivates me to paint when I am painting or putting something together. And it reminds me of what can be, if that makes sense. These old tape measures, I don't know if they probably don't sell these anymore. I'm in the process, or have been for over 10 years, I think, painting these. That's how far I got.
Hey, Badger.
Yeah.
How many gifts has your wife forgotten to give you over time? Like the Salamanders?
Oh, that's a good question. And this was what he's talking about. This was the latest one. I'm trying to remember this guy's name.
You forgot a character's name? Tourist.
I don't pay attention to characters, dude. They're the first ones to die, in my opinion. But I mean, it's like, you know, dealing with officers. But Agrax Agatone or something, I don't know. Adrax Agatone. Anyway, I don't know. There's been quite a bit. Like, the whole reason I even have 2 of the new Saint Celestines and that whole box set is because I had bought one. She thought she had looked through all my stuff. She had no idea the attic was full, and so she bought that. And yeah, so that's this part. Oh, and like I said, this is all bits of space. These are all Space Marines for the most part that have to be sorted and put together. So I probably have not put together somewhere in a ballpark, I imagine, of 3,000 Space Marines that need me. I mean, of firstborn, not including primaries. So now this over here, we won't go in here because, you know, you can just say I'm based, if you will. But I plan on making this look more like a something 40K or whatever. This sticker was on here when we bought the place, as well as the door, and that is an entire room. Yeah, that is an entire room, by the way. That's not just like a safe, that's a door. It's also our family safe room, and I'm sure you can imagine with what you know about me what's in that room, and there's a lot of them. This is where I do do what?
There's more Warhammer shit in there.
He's got a real life bolter in there.
There's Warhammer stuff in there that does not require any dice. We'll put it that way. Anyway, this is my mold making stuff and the station that I had for that. Also, where when I'm frustrated, this helps me out a lot. If you know what it is, we'll leave it at that. Oops, almost caught my cable. Here's my other baby. And I'm going to tell you something. These things are heavy. Like, you don't move. You have to take this thing apart to move it, unless you want to risk something falling off or whatever. And I mean, the base alone is about, I want to say it's about 40 pounds. So, I mean, it's heavy, and then each piece. But they are held on by magnets. Actually, that one, yeah. Actually, I might have broke that. Oh, that was broken by my son, and then I had to glue it on. That's right. And I just broke it again. So there you go. But there's a giant magnet, sorry, in here, and then this, you know, basically magnets on. And because I'll forget, bear with me. I'm going to glue this back on real quick.
Magnets, how do they work?
Yeah. Well, I forgot that Scotty was throwing something around and it hit this and it broke it. So, and it was, I think, last year or something. That's not that big a deal. And what's sad is they were going to make a badass gene stealer too that looked like the ones in the game. And then as soon as I saw it, I was like, hey, you know, let me know, so on and so on. And I don't think they ever did. So I never got it. I would have loved, dude. I'll be honest with you, if they'd have made that, I might have bought like 4 of those things. Because, you know, just to have one Terminator surrounded by him.
This picture Badger sitting in his chair. Pew, 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 pew.
All right, so all of this, let's see here, from that cardboard box over there to here, and that's all for Space Hulk stuff, and all the way up is terrain and boxes and stuff that need to be put together. So I have more, what is this called again? Sector Mechanicus, or whatever the heck it is, than you could ever want. I have 2 full boxes of the city stuff, and then I have more that has already been put together. But what I'm going to do is, ta-da, we're going to be taking the panels and making molds, and I'm going to be making, I'm not kidding, buildings that will be magnetized that will be taller than those 29.5-inch Titans in the back there.
Ooh.
So the Titan looks like it's actually, you know, doing something. And then we've got,
Titans in City Fight.
yes, and then we've got, you know, Blackstone Fortress. I bought 13 boxes. I've thrown 3 of the covers away, so I apologize. What is this? I think this was 9th edition
Yes.
with the Death Guard. Yeah. So those are all Primaris. All the Death Guard are already put together, though. 1 set of Indominus, just because I wanted the rule book. 8 box sets of Space Hulk, the last edition. Well, the last 2 editions, rather. 1 box of Leviathan. This is not Necron bits, but some kind of like terrain that I didn't have room for. These are, except for Lost Patrol, these are empty boxes because I just don't want to get rid of them. I mean, again, you've got stuff like this, you know, again, deals that you're never going to see again. And this is the hobby that, you know, I think most of us all loved. And I don't know what has happened to it, honestly.
Yeah.
What's that? What'd you say? Rune?
Oh, I just said yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think she was just agreeing with you.
Death
Mhm.
Fleet.
This might be something that some of you guys might be interested in. I had a 8-foot by 16-foot urban battlefield that I made before my ex-wife destroyed it. And I use these for roads. These are for die-cast metal aircraft. And I forget the name of it, but you can find this stuff on eBay super cheap. And I mean,
What are they made of? Just foam?
foam. Yeah, they're foam. They're really lightweight.
Oh.
And then once you, you know, make them look, you know, worn or whatever. I mean, I never really cut into them. I just kind of like flocked them, and then I sprayed them with gray, like, you know, the dusty roads and things like that. I mean, they're amazing, and they didn't cost that much. Luckily, I bought a bunch of them because, like I said, she destroyed everything. And that was a hell of a board too. Don't ask me why. I've never played the game, and I've heard Dreadfleet sucks. But I saw 4 of these boxes in a store, and I had to buy them because you must have more than one ship always in a fleet, in my opinion. And I'm hoping someday to maybe between Battlefleet Gothic and whatever these rules are, to finally make my submarine game come to fruition. Maybe someday when I learn how to 3D print. This is
Sigmar. I see Age of Sigmar. I see it.
yeah.
Don't try to hide it.
Nerd.
I've never played it. This was the only Warjack stuff I ever got from Privateer Press, but it was what's the name? Hordes and what was the other name of the game? I can't remember now.
War
But
Machine
I like
Wars.
that's it, War Machine. Yeah, I like the Warjacks. They were pretty cool. So, and then we got the new edition of Blood Bowl because I was not able to get the old one. I've got 4 sets of what was this one called? This is called Island of Blood. And I think this was 7th or 8th edition fantasy. Can't remember. And
It was
and I bought-
8 didn't have a box set,
okay.
I think.
And then I've got this I found on eBay for I think it was like less than $100, so I couldn't really pass it up because it had these orcs in there, and I really liked them. The other guys, the Stormcast, don't really care, but it's something, you know. Maybe the kids will like it. And then I bought these box sets used from other people just for the Chaos guys that are now part of my Khorne army because this was before they released the new Khorne Warriors or whatever. And then now we'll start with the models. And so my Skaven for fantasy are probably the most favorite army that I have next to Orcs and Goblins. And I have about 400 or so to put together. I mean, it's crazy. And then let's see, these were what was left of the 6th edition box set of what do you call them, Empire.
Mhm.
And they've had a rough life. As a matter of fact, I think they were one of the few things that survived my ex-wife because they were hidden away somewhere. This is my Goblin army. I don't know how well you guys can see back there.
Ooh.
Night Gobos,
what?
Divers.
Yep. Sorry, I got things messing up my focus here. But you got, yeah, and then I added these guys that are from the, oh my gosh, what was the name of that Warhammer Quest game? It's relatively new with the Zinch Tower. Shoot. Anyway, use them as basically netters, you know, or whatever. Then we've got, you know, our orc netters. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's what they're called, actually. I think these guys are called scuttlers, but in the Goblin army, Night Goblin army, they're called netters. And then,
Hey, Metronoid's in charge of slurs. Come on. Slur combo.
in here. Yeah, so we've got, I mean, these are all older models, of course, you know, the archers and then whatever, but I think they hold up pretty well for, you know, for even now. There's the old war boss on the Wyvern. Got 3, what do you call them? 4 chariots and two groups of black orcs with, I don't remember this character's name, but if you field him,
Hide.
there you go. Yeah, if you field him, he gets his own bodyguard or whatever. A couple of boxes of the old zombie regiment, and then these guys for Sylvanus, which I have down here, stuff to put together. The reason I even have this army or a little bit of it is because, here, let me walk over here, is because we entered a painting competition locally, my wife and I. This is what we painted. It was for Halloween or whatever. This was hers.
Cool.
And I split the terrain piece to give her a tree or whatever, and then I used the tree spot to use. This is Malifaux's Jack, or whatever he is.
The carver. And the other
Yes,
is,
that's it.
that Doxy.
Correct. And then, you know, it was just something for us to do together. And then, let's see here. 1 second here.
Did that come painted or did you paint that?
Malifaux comes.
I'm sorry, what? I had to paint it.
Malifaux comes unassembled and unpainted.
Yeah, here's I haven't put these guys together yet. But this is what I've got left for Malifaux. Just to give you, and I really like these models. Although these were, I don't know if there's more to them. Yeah, I thought they were pretty cool. I'm looking forward to painting them someday. But what I did with mine.
Talking you in chat, by the way. So.
Say again.
I said we're trash talking you in YouTube chat.
You go right ahead. That's what this is all about, roasting, man. But this
might be colorblind or a dog.
Right. This isn't just about Jack. I put 3 little things on here. Like it's a 3-person diorama. This little ball.
That's a voodoo doll and one of the what's the pumpkins? One of the Lacroix whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know Malifaux that well. But what I wanted to show you guys, and hopefully I don't screw this up, the reason I have those Sylvanas things is, or the trees or whatever they're called, is these guys, I don't know if this is the right one or not, but basically I had them where they went into the tree here. That might not be the right guy. Hold on. Alright, well anyway, I'm just going to kind of hold it up here. But basically they were into the tree like that, and there's one on each side, and like they were, you know, part of him, if that makes sense. And they were completely removable, so that way I can build, you know, the actual model later. So,
Cool.
yeah. And that's probably the biggest problem I have with this hobby as a whole, is I'm always looking for a way to make things modular, because that's how I got into the hobby. Everything was, you know, we had no space for anything. I had to transport everything in my car about 40 miles or so just to play a game every weekend. And that was in Okinawa, Japan, back in the late 90s.
Oh, yeah.
So everything was modular, and I haven't broken that habit. So before I go any further on those models, so these are some FDM prints that somebody made for me a long time ago when 3D printing just got started for Tyranid crap. These are fish tank things, the beginner staple for everything. This is what's left of, unfortunately, what's left of the giant urban terrain piece. Those were giant columns that had supporting roads on them and everything. These are no longer made, and Metronoid probably knows about these from the Titan Manufactorum in Greece. They made these, and I was able to buy 2 of these for less than the price of the body of a Warlord Titan from Forge World, if that makes sense. Now, that being said, they're mostly foam, and then these are, you know, FDM, you know, so it's not perfect, but they look like Lucius pattern Warlords, and I love them, and one day I'll hopefully be able to paint them. This over here is my Space Hulk board, and hold on a second. This over here is my Space Hulk board.
That's shoes.
Yeah, right. But these are all, what these are is rain gutters. And I'll show you guys what we do with these. This board has been built, painted, tore apart, and rebuilt and painted at least 6 times. You have 6-inch sections that you can do however you want, and make your Space Hulk however you like. And we even have sections where there are upper levels where the Tyranids or the Gene Stealers or whoever can go while your players stay down. You can play this kind of D&D as well. But once I figured out that I could take the Sector Mechanicus stuff and make molds of it, that's why I have all this stuff to really bring it out. Because it used to just be, what do you call this? Like a crochet mat. That's how it was made.
Oh, yeah.
And these are actually pieces that get randomly put out when the game first starts, of whether or not, you know, somebody can make it across the floor, that kind of stuff, and whether or not you lose your entire character. So, it's a pretty brutal game with even rules, but it's a fun one. and that being said, you just end up calling in another Terminator, and start at level 0. But, and then, oh man, I forgot all about this. Metronoid probably knows this one. This piece of GW terrain.
That's the old bunker.
Yeah.
That's the old bunker with the top off.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And then this is some obscure thing that I found back in the 90s. It's the Alamo. The literal Alamo. And you put it all together. I mean, it's got the church and everything. Where is it?
Where's the basement?
These are the front gates. Yeah, this is the main church.
He's ignoring me.
I heard you. But I mean, it was like the coolest thing to have back in the 90s. I mean, didn't see anything. Yep. So, but all those pieces, make the entire fort. And if I recall, once this was, I think I might have been one of the very few people that ever got it. I think once it sold on eBay, Games Workshop came after them and just threatened them. They had no leg to stand on, but the people, didn't, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
And then we've got an entire, here we go. This will help you run. So see these are those tiles I was talking, or the runway things.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
this is what little bit I could, salvage that she destroyed. The hell. Anyway, and then this is an entire box of the new pipes and everything like that, because I apparently buy way too much stuff and think someday I'm gonna have my own GW museum. I mean, look at how many shipping containers do you really need? Yeah.
I mean, just
And that's,
just with
or
the
these
scattered
things.
terrain. Just with
What's-
the
yeah.
scattered terrain, you could run a tournament.
Hey, look,
They're
some
Not
more
a
dice.
rolling.
small one.
There's some more dice. Huh, imagine that. So anyway,
You're gonna have the GW museum, and you're gonna hire a Metronoid as the guide.
Yeah.
Yelling slurs at people and telling them they're wrong.
right.
Oh my gosh.
So because I did not like the Dark Eldar models from 3rd edition, and before they made the new Dark Eldar models, I figured, because I like steampunk stuff and I didn't really like the dwarves either, that I would go with these guys, not for Sigmar, but as a proxy Dark Eldar army. As well as be able to use them as dwarves maybe somehow in fantasy. They have not been put together, as you can tell. And I clearly have a lot of work to do to put them together.
And
We have
paint.
our black. What's that?
And paint.
Wait, what's this paint you speak of?
So we figured, yeah, you're either colorblind or you're a dog. We're not sure which, but because you've got gray knights, you've got gray orcs,
Largest
you've got
gray knight army.
elves, you've got gray.
Hey, Patrick, what's
Um,
those purple figurines to your left of the screen?
Purple figurines. I don't have any purple over here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right there, the camera. To your
To the
left.
left?
Yeah.
There's nothing purple there. There's red.
There,
That's
buddy.
red.
We giving him a color test.
I thought. I'm like, man, maybe he's
Terrible.
colorblind.
Uh,
So we got our Blackstone Fortress folks, and then we got a few of the whatever that tower, I don't know, Zinch Tower game was.
I'm sorry, did you say
Um,
Blackstone? Looks more
it?
gray.
Blackstone Fortress.
Is
Great
it painted?
fortress.
Gray stone?
This is my Zinch Demon Army.
Jealous.
A bunch of random stuff. I have no idea how I would ever play it, but I wanted it. Then we have my Slanesh. We've got, these are recasts. Those in the front of the metal ones in the back. The Demonettes, which I like better than the ones in the middle. The new ones, which I think are horrible.
But I mean, those are the Huandias originals.
Say again?
They are the Huandias stopped original demonettes, so that's
Well, those are the originals, and I love them.
yes. Yes. Those
So
are
I got
those are
these
the
recon
demonettes with the crab claws and the 6 titties.
Yeah. And then
The new ones are the PC ones.
that is a Noble Knights game pleasure demon back there. That's like my demon friends for this army.
Are you still
And-
down?
Calm down, Slim.
What?
Calm down.
Oh,
No, you heard pleasure demons start getting all excited.
Because my wife got me 2 of the box set of Your Vrain and this guy, or got me a second one. Again, she didn't know I had one. He is now also kind of a demon prince of sorts for this army because I don't really need 2 of him.
That looks like
Um,
a real pain to paint.
Yeah, well, I didn't glue that stuff around very well, so that way I can break it apart if I need to. But we'll see. That's something I do on my streams a lot. Is like when none of these models that are glued to their bases are glued, so I can snap them off, and paint them as I need to. My Corn Bloodletter army, that's just ridiculously large, because I had these delusions of grandeur that I'm going to have this massive battle between my Grey Knights and these guys and see who wins someday. Nurgle. What?
I mean, Badger, you had the 4th edition Apocalypse rulebook, right?
Yes.
The big game in the middle was Guards and Grey Knight versus Chaos and Corn.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I mean, and that's where a lot of this stuff was bought long ago because of things like that.
But that's where the inspiration is coming from, right?
Yes. I'll say this dude right here, what an asshole to put together, dude. Oh my god. He's nothing but weight. I mean-
it looks like it's very front heavy.
Well, and that's why I had to put it mostly towards the rear, and I had to give him this bigger base. It was just ridiculous. I mean, he's definitely front heavy for sure. But it'll be fun to paint him. And then we've got Nurgle. I've got more Nurglings than I know what to do with. You can never have enough.
That's an old great thing.
Yes, it is. More Poxwalkers. There's a whole, 1, 2, 3. So that would be, let's see. There's about 100 Poxwalkers in the background back there that stretch across because I ran out of room because of all these Poxwalkers.
Oh my gosh.
And,
That's an-
and you have a Glotkin also.
Yes. I have a Glotkin. Hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, I'm right. It's about 100 back there. And then you got the old Plague Bearers. So you can see them. I don't know. They're just trying to focus around all this stuff. Back there, the metal bits. Those are the old Plague Bearers. And then the new ones are up here in the front. And I love this model just because I like the snail. I don't know what else I'm going to do with it, but I thought it was cool. And that's really the only reason I bought it. And like I said, you got all these Poxwalkers that'll double for zombies to everything. And then, let's see. I gotta keep track of my time. What time is it anyway?
2:45.
Okay, I'm good. And then, starting down here, we got more Nurgle. Well, this is from another box set, Rogue Trader theme.
These are the
And,
Galaxies infected, right?
Yeah, the Jeller box infected, I believe it is. And then back there, nothing but Chaos Renegades. Cultists. And then we've got. This is my quote, sort of, kind of Black Legion. Don't really know if that's what they're going to be. Don't really care.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's gray and silver.
Great Legion, but whatever.
This Land Raider is a complete cast, and I wish I'd have thought about bringing that out, but I do have videos on it. That's a complete cast with working sponsons and everything.
And those are original Pledge Bearers from 3rd edition.
Original what?
Pledge Bearers.
Yes. And Plague Marines back there as well.
Plague Marines, yes.
Nice.
Plague Marine. You got your Age of Sigmar Khorne, warriors, because I like them a lot. And then there's a bunch of Cultist back there.
And the original Contra Betrayer.
Yeah, I don't have the new one yet. Maybe someday. Wasn't high on my priority list. A couple of champ. I mean, all this stuff worked well for a Khorne army. I mean, these guys are basically hell brutes. You know what I mean? For all intents and purposes. That one back there is also a molded and cast Land Raider, all on my own, and then decorated with skulls and stuff. And then I had an extra Juggernaut head that I just wrapped around because I got the idea from my Space Wolves that I did, so that the bolter basically or whatever shoots out of there.
Cool.
This will be part of my Slaanesh Chaos Marines. I'm probably going to make them a Land Raider, as well as some Rhinos. Oh, wait, hold on. Because of the 9th edition box set, you had all of these. I forget what the guy was called, but I had 13 of these guys. I turned some of them into obliterators instead of buying the new ones. And it worked out pretty well, I thought. And they're not all in the same pose either. But yeah, they're back there. Then we've got my Iron Warriors. They've got 2 Land Raiders. Those are real Land Raiders, not like the other ones. A ton of Terminators, including this guy. The only one I have. Took me forever to find him. One of the very first Chaos Terminators.
So cool.
And then in the back, I know I'm going to drop something on the floor here. Yeah, obviously you got the new ones. You got the, I think that's 3rd edition Chaos Terminators. But in the back, those are regular Terminators, Space Marines that I gave tusks and stuff like that to turn them into more Terminators. And it worked out pretty good. And then we used all these Hell Brutes for them because everything I've ever read, the Iron Warriors use Hell Brutes pretty extensively. Fuck you, Finecast. I hate you. I really hate Finecast, especially.
Can you see if Badger, if somehow your insurance agent sees this, they're gonna have a stroke.
I'm sure, especially if they go and look at what it costs now. Yeah, if they go and look at what it costs now.
Trying to figure the value of everything.
And then this guy is my favorite ironsmith that they've ever produced, but it's Finecast. And then we have the entirety of this 4 shelves is all Nurgle. So we've got nothing but Death Guard from the new box set, like your normal troop guys or whatever, as well as and the champions. Then you've got your Death Shroud Terminators or whatever you want to call them, along with more Death Guard back there. I'm trying to get to focus. My apologies. I gave them a Hell Brute or a couple Hell Brutes as well. There's 2 of the old Typhus models, but they just serve as more Death Shroud Terminators. Then we got that Rhino and that Rhino. They're not done, but those are fake Rhinos. Those are the ones that I made, and then I put. Oh, so everybody see this guy back here? I forget what he's called. That's
the glow.
Yes.
That's the glow from Fantasy.
I forget what this guy was called. What was he called?
That's
Maggotkin. Maggotkin. That's it. Yeah. So what I did was before I put him together, I took his back and other pieces like his arm and stuff, and I made molds of them so that I could get the Nurgle parts to put on this stuff. Like there's his back right there, and then other pieces and stuff. And then, you guys will like these. I never thought that a Defiler looked the part for Nurgle at all. So I made my own. Oh, here's a better look at the Land Raider. I'm still not quite done with it.
Nice.
But that's just, the casted, parts. And it worked out. I just need to go in and fill some spots in, with some putty or whatever. But here's your sphincter door. on both sides.
Yes,
So midwinter minis, you can midwinter minis. You can
Delightfully so.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Just take it to the wash rack. You'll get all that tomorrow.
Yes. But especially as I was experimenting with these guys, you can tell. I mean, these are not real rhinos. It worked out pretty well. I mean, once I get myself a bandsaw, I'll trim all this out, and then you really wouldn't even know. But these are kind of like a pride and joy for me for defilers. And this is
That's
just like
cool.
a brass scorpion.
it all works and everything. A lot of this is putty, like all these little stippling parts you see, that's all putty. But like this big piece right here, this is, from the Mechanicus. This is his arm, one of his arms, And so I made 2 of these guys. And
Awesome.
they go right with my actual great unclean one. So I think they look better than a normal defiler.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got,
Whoa.
I'll get to him in a minute. He's got a story. We got freaking Mortarian. I got more plague drones than any person should ever be able to field because of that boxing. We've got another that's creature caster demon prince that I'm using. And then we've got the new Typhus. You got that guy back there. He doubles as a Chaos Knight now as well, because you can look through there. See that yellow? I made him taller. I cut his legs up and then I made him taller. And then this guy. So let me grab this. These right here, okay, are the weapons that went to that Titan. And that was a Titan, another GW type thing where this guy sold it to me, and then GW immediately went after him and told him cease and desist. And I think it looked somewhat like a Reaver maybe or something, but what I've done, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up better from the side, is I've turned him into kind of like a mad dog type thing, if you can see the eye there and the ears that are kind of pulled back. And then again, all that Mechanicus stuff is all over him. And then these weapons are, they're magnetized and all that, these are cast as well from my Warhound and stuff. And it worked out, I feel like, really well. I even gave him some toes. I don't know if that's going to work, though. Hold on. Sorry, it's just so much crap in here. all the Warhammer noobs are like, I'll be happy to relieve you of that burden.
I'm just glad you're not in a earthquake-prone area.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we have my, pretty much all my greater demons. My one actual Chaos Knight. That is a recast. I'm not ashamed, especially now. After what GW's done. You got Magnus back here because he did nothing wrong, but he's in the corner. You got
Did nothing wrong, but you still got to think about it.
But Dad,
Yes. Thor, my Fate Weaver / Lord of Change. Dude, you give me extra parts, they're going on the model, and I like a 2-headed demon. That looks cool. This guy back here is a recast of a Forge World Corn Demon. Hold on, let me see if I can move this.
Sorry, what demon?
I was gonna say, it sounded like you said porn demon. I was like, wow, okay.
I said corn.
Wow, okay, porn demon.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Andrew,
excited.
I'm surprised, Andrew.
Wings because he's not supposed to, but considering, how large his legs are and everything like that, I'm pretty sure he could cover the ground and jump as high as he wants to. So.
Yeah.
You said porn demon.
Yeah, I did. Of course, you got Angron, and then probably my most favorite creature caster, at least until I figure out how to get the snake one, is this lady here, for my Tzeentch Demon Prince. He's probably my favorite. Yeah, he's not really.
Really cool.
Then we got our
What
Thousand
are their
Suns.
pronouns, though?
I don't. My models do not subscribe to that. Just saying. Then we got our Thousand Suns. with rubric Terminators or whatever. I forget all the names. Rubric Marines. And then we've got, hold on a second. All right, had to yell at a dog, sorry. So then we've got Harlequins back there. It's a very small Harlequin force because it was in a Kill Team box set. We got, some really old models that I've had forever and a day.
All of the warlocks and Eldar force.
Yep. Multiple Eldritch, actually.
Two.
And these I actually bought off of somebody, and they were really poorly painted. Not to knock their painting. All we had back then was enamel paints.
They were painted.
Yes, they were. They were. But the enamel paints, I don't think are like they are today, or were like they are today. And it's different if you're starting out to have the skill to paint these miniatures versus painting an airplane or something. And it just didn't work out very well. And the guy got really unhappy with it. And he's like, I'm going to throw these away. And I was like, what? And he was like, well, I'm going to sell them. And I was like, he got me. So, but I went ahead and bought them.
Wait, Badger. Is it on the right hand side? Is it Mogan Ra, the old?
Yes, right here. Yep, that's him. Yep. And then
That's a beauty.
yeah, and I've only got a few of the Exarchs. Because that's all he really had. I wasn't really a big Eldar player.
Azurman and Fuegan, right?
Say that again. Sorry.
So Mogan Ra, Azurian, and Fuegan.
I believe so. Yes.
Fuego.
To say that. Then we got our new Necrons. That most of this came from the Imperial
yeah.
magazine subscription, as well as the what is it called? Indomitus Crusade box or edition. We got more down here. If you see them in black for some reason, that's because they've been stripped. And then we've got the few that are painted back there. I think there's about 100 or so painted, because back when I played Necrons, all I had was warriors and this guy. And I was unbeatable. Well, I had scarabs too, but
They were weak in the tomb world. Rattle 'em, boys.
And this is what I've done with my scarabs. I divided them all up. I made molds of them, and I made them look like this instead of, like the three, just three of them on a base like that. And so I have tons of scarabs back there. And then, of course, we got the new ones, which I'm not really fond of, to be honest with you. In my opinion, they lack the character that these had. I don't know why. They don't do it for me. The pariahs, I never liked their faces or their heads. They were too human to me, the old pariahs that don't exist anymore. And so initially I had Deathmark heads on here, and then I ripped those off and put these on. Now these guys are no longer pariahs. They're, what are they, Lich Guard, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
So, unless you play 3rd edition. My only favorite Catan, the Deceiver, can eat a dick. I hate that model. I hate the way it looks, everything about it. The Nightbringer is amazing. Let's see, nothing but destroyers back there. And it's not gonna give me focus. Okay. A ton of these new race and 3 or 4 of this new oh my gosh, why can't it tomb spiders? That's what. And I have and actually they're in the back. That black blob you see back there, because we got too much focus. Oh, wait a minute. Anyway, those are the 3 original tomb spiders. And then I outfitted them with weapons like these so that they kind of blended in. I think I'm going to end up having 2 different dynasties, so my old models can just, do their thing, and the new ones can do their thing. And maybe they'll fight each other.
That's a
Then
cool
we got
idea.
4 of the then we got 4 of the old monoliths. I do like the new orb that they have in the new one, but I'm not going to spend the money on it. Not when these are pretty decent. But I did
Love the
add
glow
these
effect.
as of late. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't really hard to do at all. What was hard, or what not hard, but what took the time was getting the wash or the glazing to get the green that you want, and with the black.
Ah.
And then I just added these guys, I think, last year, just to like they're materializing. So,
Yeah.
and then, and some of this stuff, if you want to know how to do it for anybody else that's watching, is on my Instagram as well as YouTube. Like this, I'm not going to pull it out right now, but
Whoa.
this is completely magnetized. It will go back to an obelisk, or it'll be, oh my gosh, I just forgot the name of this. Gosh. What is it called? Tesseract Vault. But everything is actually, maybe I can see. Yeah, if you see how that's moving, all of this is magnetized,
Oh, neat.
and all the pieces come off, and they will all store inside if you want the Tesseract Vault. Hold on a second, let me put it back together, or try to put it back together.
That is so cool.
Yeah, you were gonna be a pain in my ass. Of course you were. Of course.
He's pain
Of
in the
course. Like chunky
Pain in
yogurt.
my asshole.
Do what?
My neighbor,
Oh, yeah.
I get the front step, he get the front step. I get the window with a glass, he get the window with glass.
It's only
get
a
door,
difficult
he can
because
afford.
it's such a consistent
Great
time
success.
base. I'll get it later. Not worth it right now.
Pain in my assholes. I don't know why that cracks me up. I'm sorry.
Alright, so we got Dark Eldar here, and I probably have more scourges than anyone has ever had. Scourges, is that what they're called? I think so.
Yes.
These are all 3D printed wings and 3D printed heads because I thought they were better. From the same set that comes from, but I'll get to that in a minute. This is a recast Talus. These are all old incubi, and then their loincloths were, what am I trying to say? They were copied from the original or the new models so that they would tie in. And then we've got, these are all old witches that I got off of eBay and stuff like that I stripped. And then we added those heads. Then we've got all the 3rd edition Dark Eldar here. And we did the same thing. We put loincloths on every one of them so that they all tied in with the new model.
Nice.
This guy is my paint job. This was the quickest paint job I've ever done in my life. So that's why I'm a little bit proud of it. I was trying to show my adopted son. I gave him these models, which he just, it wasn't his thing, and that's fine. But he was looking at it, he's like, there's no way I can make this look cool. Well, and I'm not kidding, in about 30 minutes, this is what I produced.
Wow.
This whole thing. And that is not like, that's not like a real wash. All I did was take black paint and water it down and put it on top of everything. Not the greatest, glow effect and stuff, but it still looks pretty awesome for an old miniature. And then this is just paper. This skin that's flapping in the wind. It's just paper, and then if you put crazy glue or super glue on it and let it harden, as it's drying, you can shape it, however you want. So.
That's so cool.
So these models are not, in my opinion, obsolete. I think it's all about the love that you give them as far as paint jobs go. Then we have this. So this is some other guy's 3D version of the Tantalus. Okay. And I'm actually going to pull this out because there's a couple things I need to do, and it's a really impressive model. Yeah, it's pretty huge. Let's get this out of the way. So, hold on. We'll put this in perspective. There you go. That's how big it is. And I like this one better than the real one. I mean, it's, If you are looking for imperfections, you will find some here and there. But ultimately, it's pretty badass. And it's the only vehicle by the Dark Eldar that looked open top like this that I can stand. Because I don't like their other stuff. It actually sits on this to get it above everything. If you'll notice, these are Eldar, regular Eldar grav tanks. And then these were all mess ups, but I had a guy make me a few more so that I could turn these into something that, you know, they're really, oops, I just broke that off. Really pirated, you know what I'm saying? That's all right. I probably didn't even glue it on that hard just so I could paint it better. That's my biggest habit. But this looks like to me what an Eldar, Dark Eldar rather, or Drakari, whatever we're calling them now, would do, instead of just having all open top things like this. And in my head cannon, if you'll notice, my head cannon, because you still want them to be able to be open top and fire, this rises up and they're able to shoot out, if that makes sense.
Cool.
So, I bought some used Eldar grav tanks, and finally, after, let's see, I came up with this idea, I want to say in '99, so this was done last year. That's how long it took me to make this reality. Just because. But 3D printing made that a possibility, because nothing I came up with on my own seemed to work. Then we've got our Eldar army. We've got, probably can't see it back there, but we've got 1 fire prism, 1, 2, 3 grav tanks, and 2 wave serpents in the middle. And those white pieces, of course, are all molded parts because they were missing things and I needed them. And then these are the old D cannons, the old, help me out, Metronoid, what's it called? Yes, that goes along with squads. You can attach it to a squad up here. Then we've got the new Wraith Lords, and the old ones back there, which I still love, on the left. And then we've got all the old Wraith Guard. What's that?
Those old ones.
Yep. Then we've got the old Wraith Guard, a ton of them. We've got the old Banshees. I don't know if they even replaced them yet. Scorpion.
The Banshees are new.
Okay. I don't have any.
New Banshees and new striking sword.
Okay. Well, I got the old Banshees, old Scorpions, old Warp Spiders, old Rangers, and then some new ones. I think these are new. I don't even know where I got those.
No, these were 5th edition Rangers,
Okay.
and these were metal sculpts.
I gotcha. And then we've got the new Wraith Lords, because these two Wraith Lords and the new Wraith Guard, they all came in a box set with one of these guys. And so we have technically 4 of those, because in the back here, and this is on my Instagram, it's just too much to pull out right now, so I apologize. If you remember Dawn of War 3, I have made a modular diorama of the Imperial Knight stabbing the Wraith Knight. And it's completely modular, so you can still play with both of them. Hold on.
We can see that Dawn of War 3 trailer was good.
Yeah.
The trailer might have been one of the greatest selling of something that didn't exist I've ever seen.
Oh
yeah.
I mean, it's literally, you watch the trailer and you're like, oh my god. You know, it's like the trailer shows a Maserati weaving its way down the road, and then when you go to pick your car up, it's a freaking Yugo with a missing engine.
You got.
I mean, I just remember the cosplays, the Banshee cosplays that trailer generated. Those were the best things, and the girls were sexy too.
Here's your new Eldrad model. These are all these weapons are magnetized and can be put on these guys however you want. I'm an idiot with magnets. You have a rhino part of a rhino that I cast, as well as a land raider back there that the recast Phantom is standing on or coming down on. as well as this is a gypsum recast when I was first, I mean, not recast, a cast when I was first getting into it, trying to figure it all out. So this is actually gypsum powder that's hardened, and it's a dreadnought. It's all messed up, as well as a dead Marine over there being stepped on or around. And then these are just some boxes I can't part with because I don't like them. You guys saw that. Lost Patrol nonsense and a bunch of scarabs that I didn't need to use that were all gypsum cast. And this guy. Here's
Andrew's been living in that house for 57 years. Why? He doesn't want to move.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to pack all that shit up.
So this is another proof of concept of my marriage with my wife. She and I built this together.
That's so cool.
This is it's as big as our cat. I'm not kidding. Like here's my hand. Here's my hand on it. And this is my Necron Tomb Ancient. That's my Necron Titan. The rules for it are super OP. I mean, it's retarded. This I had to break off to make it fit in here. But I'm gonna do it. But I didn't have magnets at the time when we built this, so I'm gonna do a magnet thing. This was 2 Ghost Arcs, and is it called a Night Scythe? Whatever they're. Yeah, they're playing.
The crescent.
And then I don't know if you can see. Nah. Okay. Well. What the plates are, his back plates. Those are pieces of property signs that I cut up. The plastic property signs you can buy at Tractor Supply or whatever. And so that's. Yeah. Thank goodness. And then. That's just sprue for his antenna. Probably could have done a better job, but I'll be honest, I was so excited about it, I just kind of rushing some things. And I want to go back and revisit and paint it and stuff, but we'll see. I saw,
That is awesome.
And then we've got some old stuff here, refurbished from parts that I found. That'll be making its way. And if you notice, I've got their arms kicked out so they look a little larger. I'll be putting putty in there to bridge those gaps. Epic. Literally epic. From back in the day. And this is just like spare parts and stuff. Like I think those tubes are from a whirlwind.
Oh man. It's painted your favorite Marine colors.
Yeah, I know. This was supposed to be a nuclear silo type of thing.
He loves old people. He doesn't want to admit it.
This is the. Let me see. Yeah, this is the only fully painted army I have left because I stripped everything else down, and my wife is constantly on guard. Of course, I gave it to her. This was my Salamanders army. It is undefeated since it was built in 2003. It is. Even with new rules and stuff like that, you're not beating this. It's so well rounded, especially if you know how to play it. And
love the seal.
Yeah, she got me that. I forget when though. Don't tell her that.
I've heard him talk to.
There's no magnet.
Repainting too, and she's like, "Will you just leave it alone? It's mine. Leave my army alone."
Yeah. Oh, and she hates Necrons because they get back up. So I made her this. This is her own little guy who was left on a planet somewhere and had to survive on his own. So he used Necron parts and things like that.
Oh my gosh.
He then made his bolter into a combi weapon with a Necron Gauss flare. He gets 10 shots. Okay. And if he hits and wounds, there's no saves, and if it's on a Necron, they don't get up.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's her own little guy.
Hey, the Inquisition would like to talk to him.
I know, right? And then none of this stuff is magnetized because I didn't know about any of that in the past. So everything just fits in. But I painted everything. The only thing that hasn't been finished is inside of the rhinos, and I didn't finish inside. Or maybe I did finish inside. Hold on, let me pull this out. The door's probably gonna fall off. let's see here. Get this stuff out of the way.
Yeah, he waits
This
for
is
his
how
wife
cool
to
this
leave,
jungle
then he goes
board
down
is.
and touches her army.
Nah, she just comes in and looks at it every once in a while. Doesn't really care. Hopefully one day she'll play. I think she's got the whole I don't want to play against unpainted model syndrome. But yeah.
Wow, that should be a hint right there.
I know, right? Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can find a way to do this. So I did a lot of customization in here. I say a lot for back in the day anyway. Where's the damn camera on this thing? Okay. So yeah, the interior of this was fully painted, but I never got around to finishing the rhinos. I got an extra flamer in there, you know, for whatever. Yeah, but I guess you can't really tell in the camera, but I painted all the screens with like little radar blips and stuff.
Mechanicus on the back there.
That's part of it, but yeah, I painted it like that.
Yeah.
And here's the significance of this entire army. You guys see all the texture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The entirety of this army, okay, because this was in Metronoid, I remember this. The the gold standard and around the 2003 era was to be able to dry brush an entire army. No actual painting, just dry brushing. All the green, all the outlining, everything, every color on here is dry brushed in this entire army. It took me 30 days nonstop. I took 30 days of leave, and that's all I did was build this army and paint it. Everything, even that detail right there, that's all dry brush.
Whoa.
All of it. And the hardest thing about this, I even put my last name on there. The hardest thing about this with this guy was that I had to take that arm off of a chaplain, and I had to.
That was Chaplain Xavier, right?
Correct. Yep. And I had to. It's this one right here. And I had to grind off and cut off the Aquila for what I wanted. It's the same one. And then this guy is pretty cool. Emperor's Champion model, but for the Salamanders, he's got a master crafted bolter. He doesn't serve as a Emperor's Champion, just captain or whatever, various captain. And then this, I have no idea. It's something from a Space Marine Predator, some kind of insert for like a turret or something. I have no idea, but somehow it ended up in my bits box, and I turned it into a shield.
Nice.
So, but again, all of this is dry brushed. Every stinking bit of it. It was, I can't even tell you how many brushes I ruined to pull it off.
All of them.
Yeah, right, exactly. And before there was ever Primaris ATVs, I made my own. Because back in the day, I did not like.
Are those Lego wheels?
No, they're regular Space Marine bike wheels with cow.
Yeah, they should look like Lego wheels, though, don't they?
Yeah. No, but with
the
cow
Lego wheels have that kind of texture, or the tread shape. I mean.
Yeah,
That's so
no,
cool.
it's all GW parts, but I just and I was real big into racing motocross and things like that as well. So, and I've never finished the drop pod that I added for her. She's actually got more models I was going to add, but I think this army's probably done. I'll just finish that part, or she'll finish it, and then that'll be it. But that's basically the only fully painted army I own now. And if you guys will bear with me if somebody does show to drop a dog off, it'll only take me a few minutes and I can keep going. I didn't realize it was going to take this long. I should have.
It's not your army. It's not your army, though.
That's true. It's not my army.
So
then we
you don't
have
own a fully painted army anymore.
No, I don't really. And now we have my favorite army of all time. Okay. No, I don't really. I'll kill you.
Your camera was on the blue ones.
No, my Krieg Death Corps. Okay, and I'd say of all time, my very favorite army before these guys ever existed in print was my Steel Legion, and so they will always have a special place in my heart. But gas masks are my thing. This is anytime you see this color, those are molds that I made to include a Krieg, tank guy in there, and then you have a 3D printed hunter killer missile. And then because I refuse to let GW tell me I can have one or the other of the Manticore or is it Hellstrike? Is that right?
That's Strike Missile.
Death Strike. That's it. Yeah, I put it all on there. So fuck them.
I mean, this looks even better.
Well, I thought so. I mean, and if you're playing with the right people, what does it matter? I mean, you just say, hey, look, I'm not using that, or I'm only using the whatever. You know what I'm saying?
The small ones.
Yeah, the small ones are the big one. All of my knights, every one of them are all magnetized, all their weapons, and lightly glued at the waist so I can pop those off when I'm ready to paint them. These are legitimate Forge World Krieg Death Corps that cost me a fortune. I'm not exaggerating. Say that.
That's an old Forge World Baneblade.
No, not this one. I don't actually have a Forge World Baneblade. This is the new one. It's just not from the. What I did was I cut the muzzle brake off and mounted it onto this so it would look cooler. Are you thinking of the Armor Cast Baneblade? I'll get to that.
Yes, I was thinking of that.
So
the Imperial Armor Book 1 and 2s.
Yeah, so there, I made a tank commander for him, by using, some of these guys or whatever. So this army has 6 knights, and it will have a Warhound Titan as well, a Mars pattern. I just haven't put it together yet. These are 3D printed Gorgons with 50 troops each in them because fuck you, GW. They don't carry 20. What kind of bullshit is that? And then got my engineers. I even made more engineers because I didn't have enough and I had extra troops. I cut off their las guns and made them into shotguns. Does that make sense? They look like shotguns in a way. So that way I've got more well-rounded engineers. These were extra parts that came with my Lucius pattern Warhound. So now they're like little Cyclops vehicles, or they will be when I'm done with them. Then we've got Forge World Vanquishers, which that's why I kind of put that muzzle brake on that Baneblade, was to kind of make it match a little bit. And then these are all legitimate Forge World Krieg Death Corps, except for these guys are from that Kill Team box set. And those 10 riders, I'm trying to remember what they cost. I think when I bought them, they were like $12 a piece or something. I don't think they are anymore. Actually, I don't even know if you can get them.
How?
Well, what I did was I made molds of them, and now I have 40 more. So I have a total of 50 Death Riders, and their spears are paper clips that are straightened out. So again, fuck you, W. We have 3D printed what are these things called? The breaching drills for the Krieg. We've got
breaching drill.
Yep, it's got most people don't know this, but inside, if you can see. Well, you see something in the middle there? That's a melta-gun or multi-melta.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't know that. Then we've got our Devil Dog Hellhounds variant, but all of the weapons come off so I can change out whatever I need. And of course, all the light gray is 3D printed stuff. So everything's got a 100 killer missile, as well as I wanted comm antennas and the track guards. That's all, me molding stuff. We got all of our heavy stubbers for all these Lehman Russ variants. And then of course, we'll be able to stick the weapons in there, whatever weapon you want. More Lehman Russes back there amongst all these Death Riders. all Forge World Earthshaker batteries, mortars, autocannons, and more troops. Hold on, let me get a better view for you guys. There we go. I even went so far, see that'll know this. Stack arms. There we go. I even went so far.
Oh.
So while these guys are back here loading, the artillery shells and stuff, their weapons are stowed, and then you got your I forget what this guy's called, the guy with, hold on, let me point at it at least. This guy, what the heck is he called? He's like the main targeting guy. What is he?
Oh, I'm trying to. So he's like the designator.
In a way, I guess, and then his comm guy with him.
Yeah.
He's got a name, I just can't remember it off the top of my head now. And then we've got all of our chimeras, transports with more troops. Yeah, Bob. And then these things on top, okay? Those don't really exist, but in my headcanon, essentially what would happen is if you had a really, devastated trench system, these guys, under, cover from the others can run up there and essentially, you can't really see it, but hold on, maybe you can. You see that little cylinder thing that's kind of holding it in place?
Yeah.
Right next to the antenna? In my headcanon, that's an arm that launches that over the chimera. Launches it over the chimera and then extends out and makes a bridge.
Nice.
So
they're effectively bridging vehicles.
Yes, I mean,
Like an MTLB almost.
Yeah, except there's no arm to lay it out. It actually like shoots it out, so it doesn't. Yeah, so it does. Well, it shoots out and it basically forms itself as it's coming down. I figure in the 41st millennium they would have the the intelligence to do something like that, and then the vehicle
over the Miklik Bridge.
Yeah, well, I mean, and then you don't have to. The vehicle doesn't have to commit to the trench. You know what I'm saying? Which could be in my mind, could already be a designated target. I also stole from what came with those Vanquishers the trench rails and made my, if you notice, that's a piece of sprue back there to make it work, but made copies of it so I could put it on all my tanks for these guys. And those are those antennas are also paper clips because everything else just seems to be too fragile. Oh, as a matter of fact, I forgot. I actually replaced the brass rods because I needed the brass rods to make the antennas for the your actual radio operators, and I used paper clips for the real guys too. I forgot about that. Oh, and this is one of my favorite guys here. He was supposed to be with the quartermasters and stuff up here, wounded and stuff. Instead, I turned him into an engineer breaching the wire instead of crying out to kill him or kill me.
Well,
I always thought that was
his cry out would just be
right. Well, I just thought that was very Krieg-like that he would be like, "No, don't kill me." But I don't know. Yeah. Then we have. This is my Lucius pattern Warhound that is a recast. Not afraid to admit that. Can't get it anyway. And then back there is the shadow. In the very back is the turret for the shadow sword that goes to this old armor cast Baneblade. And this whole front section right here, this whole front section comes out and that goes in. I did not like the old armor cast Baneblade turret, so I got a Bradley Fighting vehicle model, and then I used a crazy glue tube, at least for now, and I think it looks a lot better, a lot more streamlined and stuff, and kind of brings the model more modern. And then we got another modern Baneblade, and I cut up a Krieg guy and put him in there. So I have a Krieg tank commander. The Chimera Psychers, I think is what they're called. Bunch of snipers. I did not like the Commissar Yarg model, so I cut his head off and put a Steel Legion guy's head on. And this army was all painted. The entirety of this Krieg Death Corps, Steel Legion army, except for the Titan didn't exist and that Baneblade didn't exist, were all painted. And they've since been stripped down, much to my wife poking fun at me. This was my very first Vanquisher tank, using sprue to try to, in a couple of barrels to try to give it, a unique look over the normal Lehman Russ barrel, if you'll notice. I will say I didn't know anything about tanks when I did that, so see, that's probably like, what the hell is that shit?
No. You've heard my rant about 40K tanks already, so.
Then you have another Bradley fighting vehicle. This is now a Legends tank, which I think is bullshit, but it's, it was my command HQ tank from back in the day, and had an extra set of Land Raider sponsons, because I think it's over here, unless I put it somewhere else. Yeah, I put it in a box. Anyway, some guy, this might make you guys laugh, but this is the only thing that survived. What happened, the guy left his Land Raider in his car in Okinawa, Japan, where we were, in the back of the car, where the sun was completely coming down on it.
Oh no.
It's like a magnifying glass. It literally melted the top.
No.
And so, I mean, not real bad, but bad enough that, you knew it happened. So he got mad and he threw it on the ground, started stomping on it, and I was like, fuck this thing, and this was the one time I actually got something for free. So now that Land Raider's in a box somewhere to be more like a blown up Land Raider, like I've used it in the past and was able to use it.
I was going to say, that'd be a great piece of tabletop.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And now that I can make my own Land Raiders, I can do as many of those as I want. But as you can see, we've got tons of Steel Legion back here and everything. And that's a cup with more Steel Legion parts that I don't know what I'm going to do with them. We've got Metronwood's favorite, the old Stormtroopers. Yep. We got hold on. Can I pull that out? Maybe. Let's see here. Let me just
whip this out.
Oh yes.
So this is my version of the Death Strike, or whatever that vehicle is, just without the big missile. And those are crazy glue tubes. You can tell by the paint coming off. And then I shaped the projectile ends out of oh my gosh, what the heck's it called now? Milliput. And then I put a Steel Legion dude in there. And that's all. Those are extra Tau. What are these guys called? Those guys in the back. Oh my god, what are they called? Yes, those are extra Tau broadside parts that I use to look like some kind of mechanical device to raise that up and lower it down. So it's a complete heretical vehicle with alien tech, but whatever. And this was an old piece of a Chimera that I was able to get off of somebody else that I turned into that. And then we've got, Lehman Russ variants with heavy flamers and, 3D printed stubbers. We've got the old, I say old, yeah, I guess they're old now. The old fully armored Sentinels. I got 4 of those. With hunter killer missiles that were made from Space Marine missile launchers. And see that, if you remember that story I told you about, that game I played where we killed that Orc Titan, it was one of those. It was one of those that did it, that wiped out the entire Orc army. 100 killer missile wiped out the entire Orc army, including his Titan, and half of that Khorne army. That's what it was. Of course, back then, hunter killer missiles had an unlimited range. Now they think it's 48 inches or something. Which sucks, they had some serious character. Then we've got all these guys. I'm trying to, where did I put them? Okay, here we go. Hold on. It's up here at the top. So now I've since redone these guys, so I apologize. There's no wires or anything, but I want to tell you the story on this. I think you'll like it. So I have 2 of these forward observer teams. All right. Of Steel Legion. That's a missile launcher that I cut the projectile off of, and that's a las cannon box. And there would normally be wires coming from that to him, to be like a mule a laser target designator team. This is what I was talking about, CDAT, for the marker lights in the very first Tau Codex, where GW stole my rules. These are the guys.
Oh no,
And
no, he outlined it. They absolutely stole his fucking idea.
Yeah, they did.
Really?
I mean, yeah. So what happened, Rune? Since you don't know, White Dwarf and Metronoid probably remembers this. At least for a time, Games Workshop was soliciting, not necessarily. I mean, I guess we kind of should have thought that they were going to steal our rules, maybe. But they were basically telling people, if you got house rules, let us know. We'll publish them in White Dwarf for people, and you want to be part of the hobby and the community, so you do that. And so I did, and I put these, and my buddy Todd and I play tested. I mean, this is not like an OP unit. Like, you had to worry about staying hidden. But what it did do was it allowed units like whirlwinds and basilisks and things like that to actually be used like we would in modern day times. Now aircraft didn't exist in the game at the time, but even then, where basilisks, whirlwinds, etc., had to have line of sight in 3rd edition, with these guys you didn't have to, as long as you made your tests, to stay hidden and things like that. If you were caught, I mean, they weren't going to live, and they were very expensive to field. So it was not like a. I mean, they're more expensive. They were more expensive, I believe, than Grey Knights were when they first came out. I mean, so it was definitely it was just for fun, you know what I mean? Not an OP thing to win the game. And so I sent all the rules in, and I think it was like 6 months before the Tau Codex ever came out, or maybe 8 months. I think it was 8 months, if I'm really remembering it. And my buddy Todd calls me up, and he's like, "Hey man, did you get your Tau Codex yet?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Well, when you do, call me." I said, "Why? What's going on?" He goes, "Just call me." I said, "All right." Well, I get it in, and I call him, and he goes, "Dude, go to page 62. And I go there, and it's the marker light thing. It was almost word for word my rules. And what I had gotten from GW was an email from them when I sent the rules in saying, "We really appreciate the effort you put into this. Unfortunately, it would never work in Warhammer. It just wouldn't, stuff like that."
Oh,
and I was
bullshit.
I was like, all right, well, whatever. And then there it was, and marker light. I mean, almost word for word, those are my rules for marker lights. And
oh my gosh.
yeah, and it's not the first time. Like, matter of fact, here, this guy right here, my wife will tell you this. She thinks that my models are bugged. Because of all the ideas that come up. No, she may not be. So this guy right here, I'm getting out of order here, but it's okay. Okay. So he's just a normal Terminator, but I made him into a Death Watch Terminator for my Space Hulk game. And this is, I decided that with this flamer, and all their weapons for all these guys are magnetized, so you can switch them out. I decided to make this into, like, flamer tanks, for like fuel and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, when they released the game Overkill, did I just pull that out? I sure did. Holy crap. Well, some of this stuff is...
That's where the microphone is.
Yeah, some of this stuff is taking a beating from my kids messing around with it, so fell on the floor and things like that. But anyway, when the Death Watch Overkill game came out, they had a Salamander Terminator with a flamethrower, and the backpack looks almost identical to that. And I made that like a year before, like just out of my head. Yeah. When I saw it and I showed her, she's like, "Don't you have that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I don't understand how they're figuring this stuff out." She's like, "This is uncanny."
Yeah.
They might have blocked you on Twitter, but they sure as shit following you on Instagram.
Oh well, I mean, I'm not blocked on Twitter, but I mean, I didn't even have all that back. That was back in 2013 or 14. It was not long after I met my wife. But anyway, so there's some stories for you. So this is 400 Warzone models, and I am not good with the, like, it's this box set up here when you can get 80 models in a box for like $70, I think.
Ow.
Oh. Yeah, here we go. So I had 5 boxes because you know. Actually, I think it
Why
might have
not?
been $50. Huh? Do what?
He said, "Why not?"
Yeah. And of course they all have gas masks. That's why I really liked them. Especially these guys right here. And again, I don't know the names of them, whatever, but I finally put them all together after all these years. And they're going to be their own little Imperial Guard armies of some whatever regiment. I have no idea. And I gave them their old Bane blade. Then we got our Tau. Ugh. The only thing cool about the Tau army.
That's the correct reaction.
Well, I like the Riptide. I like these new broadside battle suits. I had a bunch more that were the normal crisis suit type, and I just turned them into more crisis suits. And then I like this guy. That's not Shadow Snow. Who the hell is this?
That's Far Strike.
Far Strike, yeah. I don't know Tau very well. And here's the thing, you know, the reason. Oh, also I had box sets. See that yellow back there? Some of my box sets were missing chest pieces, so I had to make my own. How about that, GW?
Droid seems to know a lot about Tau for a man.
The Tau?
Like Tau.
Yeah, the rare gun in 4th and 5th edition was real fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And
This,
it was really pain in the ass, and it was opening up land raiders in the deployment zone. So fuck the Tau.
Well, I want to tell you guys too, like back in 3rd edition, at least, you could have like this. All these crew right here, they were their own army, and it was just, you know, I mean, I didn't like the crew talks and stuff, but I built them to play on this. And I'm gonna, you know, I'll explain later if you guys remind me how this board actually works. It's not like what you think. It's actually a lot more fun. But the problem I have with the Tau is because of what GW did with the rules. I'm still, after all these years, I'm burned about it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it just, I don't know. I know I shouldn't be, but it's what it is. Let's see, what time is it? Okay. So here we have.
Listen, I still hate the Necron rewrite in the 5th edition, so you can you can be salty about the Tau.
So here we go. There are 6 knights on each shelf. And everything is yeah, you can see them back there. Everything is magnetized, every bit. I mean, every bit. Yeah, you can see them back there. Everything is magnetized. I will probably never use this cannon, but I magnetized it anyway. And the reason I say I won't use it because I like the way this one looks and that one. So that's a 3D printed head, obviously. That's my one for my Space Wolves guys. We've got. Look at that. Those are female Custodes. I'm kidding.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
no, those are.
That is the boob plate. That is the boob plate.
Yeah, right.
Me. I knew it. He's a pick.
Yeah. This is my small Custodes army, along with Sisters of Silence. These guys are a combination of the Talons of the Emperor and as well as the Dreadnought and the Venerable Land Raider back there. Are a combination of the Talons of the Emperor box set as well as the Horus Heresy. Hold on. This one, Burning of Prospero box set. So that's how I got all those. And before there was ever a Sisters of Silence model, I had made my own Sisters of Silence / Sisters of Battle out of Dark Eldar, and Space Marine parts.
Now calling the Inquisition.
Yeah. Yep. Actually, her.
That's an Eldar boob plate, right?
Oh yeah, that's Eldar boob plate. Probably, I don't know, 34D something. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, and then we've got our Grey Knights, which I like. I know. Do they have new ones now? New Grey Knights?
Yes.
Okay, so these are the ones that are kind of in between, and then a few of the newer ones, I guess. But then my favorite, the Rogue Trader ones. Yeah, I love those. and I even made a standard bearer out of one of them. So I can't wait to actually do their bases up and give them, or do them justice. I made my own. Oh gosh, what was his name? What's the one character that's usually in all the books? With the sword, the
Castellan Crow.
Yes, I don't like the Castellan Crow model, so I made my own.
I mean, the
Nice.
5th edition metal one is, I think, pretty sweet, but the new one is meh.
I'm just not real big on my Marines not having helmets on. If you remember this old Inquisitor.
Oh yes, that's the 3rd edition Demon Hunter. Inquisitor.
And then we got our Deathwatch army, which... Where is he? Yeah, here he is. I don't know why I didn't even pull him out when I was showing you guys that. Yeah, look at the back. Tell me what you think from what you saw earlier.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Was I copied or was I copied?
Yeah, but theirs have numbers on it, so yours didn't. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, seriously, dude. I mean, look, just for refreshing everybody's memory. I mean, really? You know? And again, I don't know how. I mean, like I said, the box set didn't even exist when I made that. It's the craziest thing ever. But anyway, these are multiple Deathwatch Overkill box sets, as well as just random Terminators that I added. This guy, I cut the head out and put a Terminator helmet in there, and this guy as well as these guys are really for the Space Hulk board. And if you look at this floor, that's what the floor looked like in the Space Hulk board all over the place. That crochet mat. Now it looks like that, or something like it.
Nice.
And then I put Artemis's head on or helmet on because why the hell are you running around without a helmet? We got current Sisters of Battle. Some of them because I got them from the Imperial magazine thing, but then we've got all the old ones back there. Hold on.
Jeez.
I don't like these models in particular, whatever they're called. The new baby carrier.
The
But-
Paragon Warsuit.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, those are stupid.
So those are all the, well, there's a bunch of them back there, but all the metal old sisters.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
And this is my sister's army that I really like. Like we were already looking at it, but yeah, it's all, Eldar, Dark Eldar, and Space Marine guns. And then we've got assassins back there. Those are the old
Oh yes.
What?
Oh yes.
what the hell are they called like that? I don't know why I can't remember these now.
Penitent
Um,
Agents.
That's it, yes. Those are the old ones. I had a third one somewhere because it came in the Imperium thing. Oh, there it is back there. It's a lot smaller than the old ones.
Yes.
I don't know why. I mean, it's like a lot smaller. And it doesn't have the character. And then we've got our Adeptus
And I
Mechanicus.
mean, just the biggest difference. The old Penitent Engines have sisters in front.
Well, you could have a guy or a sister, but of course I put the sisters in front.
Oh yes.
And then the guys, they're gonna go in the Space Hulk as like servitors attached to a wall or something. And then we've got Adeptus Mechanicus. Those are all the old servitors in I don't remember what those guys are called.
The Tech Priest, right? Engine Sears.
Sears, that's it, yeah. And then you got some of the new stuff. I've got 2 calls here, and I've got another what's it called? Recast of a call, but I didn't know that's what it was at the time.
Ooh.
Then we got these guys. Yeah, call's a bitch to put together
I was
too.
gonna say, if you want to hear a story about swearing a lot, ask him.
Oh, just go watch the video. Go watch the video.
That's right. You did that one on video, yeah, and it was like
Yeah.
just nonstop.
I got this model. This model is not Warhammer, but I have no idea what it goes to. I feel like it was War Machine or something.
This is War Machine. This is a Cador mechanic.
Okay.
These
the
are battle mechanics.
The reason I bought him is because of the story, and there's a Sky Shield landing pad along with these Kazarkin guys that I'm gonna duplicate. the reason I bought him is because of the story of the blacksmith of Brandywine. Do you guys know that story? During the
I don't think
Revolutionary
so.
War. So this blacksmith apparently went, like, he was, you know, at a bar or somewhere, a tavern or something, and overheard some people talking, you know, basically British spies and stuff like that, talking about this plan to go assassinate George Washington. And so he went and found George Washington and told him about it. But when he came back home, the British had killed his family, his wife and his kid, his son.
Jeez.
And he was not somebody that wanted to be involved in the war, but this caused him to be. And the fable, and it's not a fable story, but the fable behind telling this story is that he fought the British solely with his sledgehammer, you know, that he used as a blacksmith. That's not entirely true. He did, until he was wounded too bad to fight anymore. Like he literally, you know, went hand to hand with him with his sledgehammer. And then he climbed up into a tree that was just shy of the main pitch, you know, where they were fighting, and sniped British soldiers until, you know, they eventually tried to overwhelm him in the tree. And apparently, I don't know if he was part of a militia or what he was, but they won, you know, against the British. And he ended up dying of his wounds at the base of the tree, but he was surrounded by tons of British at that point.
Wow.
So, and that's why I bought that model. And then we have Slim's favorite, the furries, Space Wolves.
More of Patrick's. Thank you.
Yeah. These are all Wolfguard Terminators. I don't know if they're called that anymore, but that's what they are to me.
They
I've
just
got,
shoot the wolf tard.
yeah, I've got my own, what I'm calling my own, oh gosh, I can't believe I forgot his name.
Old age, man, old age.
Metronoid, who's the most famous dreadnought? I forget.
Bjorn the Fellhammer.
That's him, yes. So, did some things to him. We've got all the Wolfguard leaders have 3D printed heads that resemble this guy's head a little bit. Ulrich the Slayer. I'm not real big into the no helmet thing, as I've said, but I also am not real big into that with the friggin' tail hanging off the top. But, you know, I was short on heads. This is my favorite. What am I trying to call him? Tech Marine, the Iron Priest. Is my favorite model ever, but I don't think he exists anymore. I have no idea. Got a few Wolf Riders back there. Then we got the bulk of the Blood Claws and the Grey Hunters, and some of the newer wolves and stuff like that. I have so many of this model, it's ridiculous, because they all came from the Stormclaw box set, which had most of my orcs as well. Or no, I'm sorry, not orcs. Wait, I had to put the wrong cover on. Hold on. Where are you? Yeah, here we go. So you had killer cans and orc war bosses and stuff. A lot of these box sets are what I use to, you know, fill out my armies, because it was the cheapest way to go for the style of play that I play, which is lots of, I mean, I want to see troops on the battlefield. I want to see just, you know, one of those or a couple of those. And then we've got our Blood Angels.
Worth Marnius Calgar, the greatest Space Marine ever.
Yeah. He's not put together, but I wanted to show you something. So these Blood Angels, when I put them together, see that thing on their chest? Or, let's see, like those things?
You talking about like the blood drop?
Yeah.
The wings? Yeah.
This is what they are.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. That's some hillbilly shit right there.
But it worked. It worked.
But it worked. No, that's the whole point of hillbilly shit. It works.
Yep. And when I first did my Soul Reapers army, which is now Soul Keepers because GW stole that name too, that's what I used on them for gems and things like that. They got a whole story behind them and whatnot, but Yeah, so in order to make these guys blend in a little more with the plain stuff that I had, this is what I did. And they will be painted up like red jewels and stuff. And these are the old Death Company models. I found this guy laying in a box when I was cleaning up the room, so I got to make another one. But there's the new Dante model. This guy back there in the chaplain and Terminator armor, I have multiple of him. He's what's the word I'm looking for? Agnostic, but I turned him into a Blood Angel.
Ooh, that was a general chaplain in Terminator, right?
An agnostic chaplain.
I think so. Yeah, I know, right? I know. But what I really hate about him is he's fine cast. So is Ulrich. You know, which sucks. Here's your old Dreadnought Furioso Dreadnoughts, 3 of them. And then back there's one from Black Reach, Assault on Black Reach. I got a few more of those. Then I made my own Terminator Librarian with a bunch of crap on him. Put all the weapon options on, because why not? Let's see. Here, this is all Death Company here. Even this old Dante model, he's going to be something else. Lamarty, am I saying that right? Lamartis? I don't know. Here's the old Apothecary with Jump Pack. I don't think he exists in the game anymore, which is retarded. And then 4 Death Company Dreadnoughts. Furioso type, but with the lightning claws, I think, or something. And then I just put these together, and now I'm waiting on my new tanks to get here. My M163 Vulcan tanks.
Oh, you
Really
did
excited
order?
about them. Oh, I ordered them. I ordered 6.
Okay, cool.
Then we got orcs. First, Black Reach. How many is back there? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 3 is 18 Death Coptas.
Jeez.
Yeah, I've been offered a lot of money for these, actually. Then we've got...
And I remember when they came in the Assault on Black Ridge box.
Yeah, this box right here. Then we've got...
Since
hold on.
how you were dividing, how you were buying it up and dividing the models among each other. Who needed orcs, who needed space marines.
I've had people tell me, you know, oh, you must be a scalper. No, dude, I'm just smart. Yeah, so that's what came in that set. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna position this here. You guys talk amongst yourselves, and I will be right back. I just gotta receive a dog. Okay.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. Because we're not done.
Mod's gone. Post memes.
Jeez.
He's a total tourist, right?
Right?
Look at all those unpainted minis.
Disgusting.
I mean, he has more money than sense. In some ways, right? But just think about it, to insure this place. I mean, Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys.
Alright.
Take care. And just the old minis that are out of print and collectors would give an arm and a leg for those.
For sure.
Jesus.
Well, if the world ever has like a shortage of plastic, I know where the government's going first.
Much barking.
Bork, bork, bork.
Well, the dog is in place. I mean, I can't blame the man because I was writing up the army list about how to field an Imperial Guard army in 5th edition with all maxed out infantry platoons. So But I was broken. It was just writing up and not actually doing and getting the models for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you played 5th edition 40k?
No.
I mean, just imagine back then it was the compulsory was 1 HQ and 2 troop choices, and in the 5th edition Imperial Guard Codex there was a troop platoon which came with a command squad and two 10-man infantry squads at minimum. But this could be buffed up to 5 10-man infantry squads, 3 weapons support platoons, each with heavy weapons, 1 what was that? Sentinel squadron, and I think some other auxiliary choices. So it was, well, effectively from one HQ and 2 troop choices, you could field, I don't know, 1,500 points.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I am back, and here's the top. All of these models are Cromlech orcs in mega armor because I thought it looked better than that kind of mega armor. Got a lot more detail, and the orcs look a lot more older. I made my own weird boy. This right here on him, this cloak, is a napkin. I think from Wendy's. Not sure.
Awesome.
I mean, listen,
this guy was...
the next will be that Wendy's introduces something like that.
Right? Maybe this guy's been kit bashed to be a mech. And I did the same thing with that guy.
If you're not using like anything and everything to play, then are you really a hobbyist?
Right.
And
well, and just like...
Are you really an orc hobbyist if you don't empty the
right
and start using it?
He's an orc.
Exactly.
Like you've seen all that stuff. He's just cobbled together and made it work.
Yes.
I believe in.
Oh, I love the orcs, dude. And the way I did this also was with, like I said, it's just a napkin kind of draped over them, doused in crazy glue or super glue, and then, you know, push it together as you do it. Which, by the way, hold on, totally didn't think about that. I know I put it in the video, but back here with these Paragon suits, the leader chick has, I don't have the model, but the one, you know, the headquarter or whatever character model that's in a Paragon suit, she's got like, you know, the kind of the skirt. Yeah, she's got kind of the skirt thing going on, so I did that to these guys. And then she doubles as Morgan Vol or whatever, as well as just a normal, you know, Paragon person. So,
Nice.
I don't know. But, and then we've got Orc Knobs. And if you notice, that is the War Boss out of the Black Reach set. So he's now an Orc Knob. This is from Stormclaw, I believe. We got multiple of them. And I believe those are serving as a squad of knobs. Or I'm sorry, not knobs, the big guys. Knob boss or boss knob, whatever. Each one of these vehicles, I'm gonna see if I can zoom in here. I would have even more orc boys if I hadn't stuffed the vehicles full of orc boys. So that they're hanging out. They're hanging out of both sides and everything like that. So yeah, there's a guy back there. So, and then we have, yeah, so these are knobs as well as whatever. What are they called? Why can't I even think of this right now? What's the head knob? Huh?
No, the War Boss.
Well, not the War Boss. Who's the guy that controls the squad of knobs? He's a bigger knob.
That's the Mega Knob.
There you go. Whatever. Anyway, then we got all of our Storm Boys back here. We got all kinds of nonsense going with them. Some of them were the metal knob ones. There's more regular shooter boys back there because I ran out of room. We've got our Slugga boys and shooter boys. There's the old metal war boss, really good model. Yes. Oh no, he doesn't have the squig.
He doesn't have. Oh,
Not that one. That's who is that? Somebody's got the squig. Because I put it on him. Oh no, I'm thinking maybe I didn't put the squig on him, but I was thinking of these guys that have their squigs in their hands. I don't know what they're called. Here's all your
round herds.
There you go. Here's all your Gretchen and shooter boys. And then here's the kill team guys, along with the Navy SEAL grot. So you've got fins on the back.
Oh god, now I want to listen to the Navy SEAL thing.
And you've got a snorkel and a dive mask on. And then we got more drop pods, which here, and somewhere else is going to be all drop pods. So let me give you, let's see, what time is it? All right, so I got somebody getting picked up at 5. All right, no problem. We're almost done, maybe. Anyway, so my Warhammer journey, the very first models I ever had, I got from a pawn shop. They were just a single box, and it said Space Wolves on there. They were all Beaky Marines, so I'm thinking second edition, or maybe RT. I don't know, but anyway, I painted them up. Don't know what happened to them, and lost them, along with the very first Vindicare assassin that looked like a ninja with a rifle. Yeah, I found that guy later, and I don't know what happened to him either. I think my ex-wife actually got a hold of that one. So anyway, yeah, I know, right? When I got into the actual hobby, was in Dallas, Texas. We walked into a mall, and here was the very first Games Workshop store I ever seen in my life. Didn't know what it was. As soon as I walked in and I saw the 3rd edition box set and saw what they were, I knew exactly what it was from what I used to have. And so I bought the box set. Well, I decided to paint them red or whatever. And again, I bought enamel paints because I didn't know anything about acrylics and all that stuff. More paint does not equal better. We'll put it that way. So, like, you know that one picture out there of the Ultramarine that's got the messed up face?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Let me put it this way. That guy was not near as bad as what I had done. My guy, by the time I was done, his head was just an orb, and I had to draw paint the eyes and stuff on. There was no detail left.
Kill me, brother.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, that was about as far as I ever went with, quote, Blood Angels, we'll say, was that guy. So then I had this novel idea once we got to Okinawa. Why don't I just, and again, you got to remember, the internet didn't, it was very new. Didn't, there were no blogs, nobody to talk to, whatever. And I had this novel idea. Why don't I just spray paint the color? And so I did that with Space Wolves. Not the right gray, but who cares? And they came out actually really well. Preserved the details, stuff like that. And I was like, okay, so now I kind of have an idea. And that's kind of how it progressed. But I only had a squad of them. Well, then I came across the Dark Angels. They were my very first fully painted army. Even though the pictures that I've shown you see that those weren't all fully painted, but they did get fully painted. But they weren't Dark Angels as we know them. They were just like a successor chapter or whatever. And that's really what the Soul Keepers are as well. But so Dark Angels, I guess if I'm being honest, I could always say it was my first love, my real first love. And so naturally they have a ton of stuff. And all but Lionel Johnson, the metal models, and the 2 ciphers all came from, what edition was that? Well, Metronoid, what was the edition with the Dark Angels and the Chaos Marines? Forget Crimson Slaughter.
3rd edition, I think. Wait. No, the 6th edition Dark Vengeance.
Yeah, I think it was. What the heck was that box set called? I can't remember now.
That's
But anyway.
that's Dark Vengeance.
Dark Vengeance. Okay, yeah, you're right. All right, so anyway, I bought a bunch of those. So that gave me the bulk of this army, mainly because they all have the or their symbol actually on the freaking model, which I thought was great. And one of the box sets actually had this limited edition chaplain in it. But then you got your, your old characters, Ezekiel. Oh gosh, I just forgot your name. Asmodai, yeah. And I don't remember this captain, but apparently a lot of people liked him. I think he's okay, especially now that I turned his head somehow. But that's about it.
That was just a generic captain release for the Dark Angels.
Apparently a lot of people love that model.
There was a special edition from that with different weapon loadout, but yes, that's a really good beauty. That's a really beautiful model from a bygone age, we can
especially if you turn his head.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got all the Terminators that came in those various box sets, so that really helped out a lot. And then I really customized this Land Raider to be Dark Angels. Made a Dark Angels Dreadnought that's more Dark Angel-ish. We've got our Raven Wing, which is 2. I forget, I think I have 36 bikes or something like that. Or maybe it's more than that. It's a lot of bikes back there. Yeah, it might be more than that. I forget. I don't know what this big speeder is back here. I bought it because it was cool, and I don't remember the name of it. Never played with it. And it's got 2 plasma cannons on the top. And Master of the Raven Wing.
Maybe Steel Speeder.
Yeah. 2 really old speeders. Not quite Rogue Trader, I don't think. I think 2nd edition maybe. That have kind of been restored. And then I made my own whatever, not Master of the Raven Wing, I don't know, something of the Hunt or something.
That's the Master of the Raven Wing. That's the Sama model from before the jet bike. The Sama was sitting in a land speeder.
Okay, well maybe it was. I don't know.
And
so anyway, yeah. So there's
loadout.
And then a ton of bikes, as you guys can see, including a command bike or command group of bikes. All the weapons that need to be put on, but will be painted separately. More bikes, attack bikes. I mean, just bikes everywhere. I made my own racing game too.
Nice.
This is Black Templars with the 2 of the very old marshals. I think this was the first marshal right here. I'm sorry, not marshal, Emperor's Champion. And then this was the Marshal limited edition. Then they released them. We've got a fine cast and metal Emperor's Champion, and I think this was the very first Emperor's, or second Emperor's Champion, but I lost the sword somewhere, which sucks. Be nice to have that.
Yeah.
Then I made them 2 Land Raiders.
Wait, your Grimardus set is complete?
Yeah, it is. Been in a box forever. And then I don't know if you guys are interested in this. I'm sorry, go ahead, Metronoid.
I mean, just if you want to show it to people to be yellow with envy, that's a better set, I think, in my opinion, than the new plastic. So much character, so much. I mean, that's the Grimardus that is in the book, that is in the animation, and not the plastic one.
Right. Well,
also,
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if you guys care about this, but the way that I was able to, when you buy one of these shelving units from IKEA, when I got them, they were $60. I think they're $100 now. But they only come with 4 shelves. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What I did was I went to Lowe's and I got acrylic sheet cut, and then you use these cable ties or cable fasteners to make a shelf for the shelf to sit on, or a point for it to sit on. And I mean, not to say anybody's going to have 15 of these cases like I do, but if you even had one case, and as you can see, I have in a lot of ways. Let's see, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You could potentially have, 12 shelves in one unit if you did it right.
Wow.
Whatever you need. And now, probably my favorite army, Tyranids. And it is an entire case, and then some. So, that is a recast Hierophant. That is my own custom-made, I'm going to say it wrong, Demi-Karen? How do you say it?
I like Demi-Karen.
Yeah.
It's not just a Karen, it's a Demi-Karen.
Right. Obviously, we got, these are recast Forge World Ripper Swarms. You got the old ones, or the regular ones back there, but these are my favorites. We've got Old One Eye, some regular Carnifexes. We got, oh gosh, man, why can't I remember what the heck those are called? Now, Toxicreens back there, a couple of them. Some Hive Guard, 2 Hive Crones, is that right? Whatever the
don't know. I'm not keeping up with the rapid evolution of the Tyranids.
We've got a Winged Tyrant, or 3 Winged Tyrants, and if you notice, I found a way to not only make, basically, if you have the Winged Hive Tyrant box, you have enough parts if you're able to just, make a mold even with green stuff or whatever, that you can get 2 Hive Tyrants out of them, a winged one and a regular one. And then you use, if you had any extra Carnifex heads, you can use that as the cod piece there. So, like if you there's the pelvis there, but if you look at the wing tyrant, I'm using a cut up Carnifex head. So anyway, so I've got more tyrants than I know what to do with, more brood lords than I know what to do with because of all the Space Hulk box sets. We got gargoyles back there. Hold on, come on. Yeah, I don't even know how many's back. There's a ton back there. Actually, let me see if I can do it this way. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I remember when in third and fourth edition, you can buy the gargoyles 1 or 2 by the blister.
Oh yeah, well, I've got some of the old ones down there. I'll show you in a minute. Obviously, all the white is mold stuff that I did, and you got the old lictors back there, along with the resin or fine cast Death Leaper. The very first. Yeah. But I made multiple. I was able to get multiple zone thropes, venom thropes, and stuff by doing the same process I did for the Hive Tyrant.
Wow.
This is my custom Red Terror with various extra parts from the this guy. I forget what he's called now. Yeah, the Trigon. So I made my own Red Terror that actually looks like it's scary, not the stupid one that they used to have. Then we've got the new Gaunts with new stuff, new Screamer Killer from that box set. 4 Trigons, because they're just badass models, so why not? But yeah, this is all the stuff from the new edition box set with the Tyranid Prime back there and stuff. Then we got...
You have Forge World Tyranid kits. I mean,
say that again?
Do you have Tyranid kits from Forge World? I mean, specifically interested in the wrecking ball upgrade for the Carnifex.
I do not. I do not. for me, I know what you're talking about, but for me to play, when I play, it's about numbers and all of the upgrades and things that people want to do. That's why I say this army over here, this Salamanders army, has never been beat. It can't be beat because the amount of dice I'm rolling to shoot you, I mean, good luck, dude. I mean, it's and those are firstborn. I mean, the only way it can be beat, I'll say, is if I, do something stupid. And now that may be the case now because I'm old and don't remember half of it, but whatever. Then we've got some of the, I guess, I don't want to say older Hormigons, but they're like the last version, if you will. We've got tons of Raveners as well as, extra parts put together to make different types of Raveners, or I'm sorry, warriors and stuff. Those are all warriors, I'm sorry, not Raveners. Well, no, the Raveners are in the back. Never mind. Some of the last edition Termagants. I say some, there's a ton there. I can't even tell you how many Gene Stealers I have, and with these Termagants, that's just a little bit of them. Here's the rest. So,
Nice.
along with more back there and 3 Termagants, because I think they're the coolest model ever to be able to just keep kicking out more Termagants. This is a giant cluster, and I apologize because in here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 6 of these mycetic spore things or whatever. They have another name too, but they're magnetized so they can be either or. Along with, I don't even know how many actual spore mines I have. It's out of control. I mean, I might as well just set them up and start plinking them. And then I save these things. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with them yet. I may make them into more of the Forge World. Oh gosh, what's the floating sack?
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what it's called now.
It's not a spore mine.
No, it's not a spore mine. Well, I thought.
The small one.
Where did I put? I have 3 of them. Here they are. These. I thought about making more of those with this, but then I also thought about making for small games some enslavers using that. Thought that would be a cool idea. I don't know if there's rules out there for them. There might be, but. And then, hold on, what time is it? Okay, so good. Then we've got, we'll finish with the Tyranids here. 3rd edition Hormigons, stolen straight off the Alien franchise. Great job, GW. Freaking the old Gene Stealers, a couple of old group lord. That's
and 2 of them.
Actually, there's a 3rd one somewhere. I don't know where he is. But yeah.
And old, what is the Tyranid that shoots at the spore mines? The bio. Yes, yep. The old bio wars.
Freaking orc space. Yep. Tons of metal spore mines, and this is another thing for both your Hormigons, for your old metal ones, or even your plastic Gene Stealers of any type and spore mines. Put these washers on the bottom, and they will not fall over as easily as they normally do. Yep, everything in this case has got a washer. So, as well as these, these Gene Stealers here and those Hormigons. And I mean, you're never going to notice it once you paint it black. Here's your very old Termagants. And the sad part is this entire old Tyranid army was, all painted, and then I stripped it. If you look on my Twitter, you will see this guy, the metal one here, how his paint job was, as well as one of the Screamer Killers back there, and I have 3 of the old ones, which I will never give those up. I mean, I doubt they'll ever be worth anything, but they're just awesome. And I got 3 of these old Hive Tyrants, but apparently I lost the whip for this guy. So I was able to salvage a whip arm from a Tyranid warrior. So at least he's complete. And then here's your old Tyranid warriors, but I turned them all into close combat guys with some of the Tyranid warrior bits. Salvage them. Here's all your old gargoyles, like Metron was talking about, 1 or 2 in a blister. And there's the old Raveners. And we got our Gene Stealer cults. And all of this mostly came from the Death Watch Overkill box set, multiple box sets. And then I bought some extra stuff like the female mages here because she's a badass. And then we got nothing but Gene Stealers from 8 Space Hulk box sets.
That's awesome.
This is for my own rules. Get out of the way. This is for my own rules of Space Hulk. This is a swarm, or horde rather, that I made that can be coming after you in the Space Hulk, depending on how many blips actually end up together. It's pretty awesome, and it's terrifying. I mean, it's a model that represents that. They may not be that many, though. You know what I mean? It's just a number thing. This is how I plan on painting all these purple guys. You've never seen these guys before. I don't know how clear this is coming out to you guys.
It's pretty clear.
Quite clear.
Yeah.
All right, cool. But what I mean by that is on the back, I'm not putting a lot of detail because it's supposed to be in the shadows, whereas the front, you know, and same thing like with this Terminator. He's not done, but he's really, you know, neat up front, but in the back it's less so, right? Because again, you know, it's focusing because they're supposed to have flashlights and shit. And then there's all the Terminators from the Space Hulk box sets. I don't have enough. My plan is to have one group for every chapter that I can, you know, the main chapters, and then go from there. Then we have Adeptus Titanicus that I have put together. Even used some spare parts to make an objective piece of a Warhound that went down. These are 3D printed Space Marines that I'm getting an entire chapter printed right now, like the whole chapter. Got actual epic Lucius Pattern Warlord, my own converted, kit patch dominatrix, because I thought the other model was too small and stupid.
Isn't that Imperial's Dictatio?
I believe so. I think so. Yeah, the old epic Hierophant. And these boxes are full of epic Marines and stuff that haven't been put together. I'm not going to break this out, but this is a ton of BFG models, like multiple fleets. And most of them are all metal.
Nice.
Badger, you have been hoarding.
Yes, I have.
This is an intervention.
I thought Ceda was going to say that. I've been hoarding even stuff like this that, you know, I mean...
I give up, man. It's just, this goes beyond hoarding.
I mean, that's the old Apocalypse template set.
And then we've got the Apocalypse games, we've got Mighty Empires and Planetary Empires.
Okay, now you are just rubbing it in.
We got Song of Ice and Fire, Death Watch. I'm just gonna go through here real quick. Something my sister gave me. Aliens versus Predator, because before that game came out, I took the old 3rd edition Hormagaunts and made my own aliens, as well as one of my Hive Tyrants to sacrifice it to be a queen. And then I took Eldar Banshees and turned them into Predators. And then we've got this game that we're hoping to play with the kids, and my wife and I, we bought this together.
Oh, Super Dungeon Explorer.
More. Yeah, Super Dungeon Explorer. I don't know if it exists anymore, but they're pretty cool models, or minis. Like, especially the ninja stuff from All Stars. If it's out there, man, I mean...
I think they are still in business.
I think they look cool. course, the pro painters did that, not me.
But I mean, that's an excuse to paint chibis. So
Yeah. And we got so much of that crap too. But that's the room, guys. I didn't realize it was going to take that long to go through. Should have. I mean, that's a whole, I don't know,
Awesome.
secret weapons around anymore. But that's two entire board sets, I think 4x4 of plates that you can put down. You can paint them up and everything. Hold on.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't think he's proved that he's not a Taurus.
Oh, that's true.
No. I mean, I don't even know. I personally think all of this is his wife's stuff.
Oh, I've got a Forge World Dreadnought pod that I'm going to copy for all my Dreadnoughts, so there's more drop pods that have to be made. Forgot about that, and then these are all bits. Here's my rules for the Jungle Board.
So that he
The Jungle Yeah.
show this stuff, and because if she caught him showing off her stuff, you know.
She knew. So the Jungle Board, just because if you guys, I'm not going to go through all the rules, but these rules I've had since, as you can tell, the first Catachan Jungle Fire Codex that I adapted from. The way that this board or a board would work if you decided to do it is that the board itself is alive, okay? In some ways, the jungle changes, much like Lost Patrol, but each player gets to move these things, however they go, and it can cut people off, it can cut units off, it can separate units. Like you could literally move somebody's model, just enough that you could put the undergrowth there, like it grew up in between them. You got that problem. You got the ability to fade in and out. I mean, you could say, well, that's like normal terrain, but it's not, because you can actually, depending on what kind of people you had, like Kroot, for instance, you could fade in to a place like this and then just come out somewhere else, where everybody basically has that ability. Call it teleporting, call it whatever you want. But I mean, it really makes the jungle hard to fight in. So, and of course, you can see how big this thing was, and the jungle's still bigger than it, because I like to be immersed.
Wait,
Yeah.
Where are the monkeys?
They're over here. Oh, which ones? The Gene Stealers or the Barrel of Monkeys?
No, yeah. I mean, I like it better with the monkeys hanging from the trees.
Yeah, he likes to come in here and do that.
So cute.
Oops. Dad's not very good at it. And when Dad puts it on the wrong leaf, it's like, no! And he throws a fit.
Look at that. Oh, man. You fail at monkey hanging.
That
was a monkey down moment when it fell.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god. But yeah, this is his little corner of the game room for now. And Danielle's even like, I put a Dreadnought out one time for her, and for him, and she goes, I want a robot. So I was like, okay. And unfortunately, the only one I could give her was one of the Death Guard or Death Company ones, and then I realized how sharp these things are.
Oh,
and I was like, no, let's not. But yeah, that's the room, and I mean, but I don't know if this matters to anybody, but the entire top of this is nothing but contractor bags stapled to the ceiling because of the insulation and stuff, because I can't be breathing that crap.
Yeah.
But yep, I mean, the whole thing is a model. The whole room is a model, and
Love it.
It's a neat little escape, and I can't tell you how many times I've paced back and forth from that door to here just looking at the models, and by the time I look at my watch, I've done like 3,000 or 4,000 steps. It's ridiculous. This is my whiteboard that has nothing on it for obvious reasons, because procrastination. But I thought about before this stream writing, paint minis with a question mark. Like, now I'll let them say whatever. But yeah, this is me. This is the hobby, and hopefully it'll bring years. There it is, Silver Tower. That's the damn name of that freaking game that I was talking about. But hopefully it'll bring years of joy, even if GW goes under. Remember what I said, CDAP, when we first met? I give GW 10 years, and that was a year ago, right?
Yeah, well, it sounds like they may try to exceed your expectations.
Yeah.
Oh
I know, right? That's crazy.
Hey,
That's
let's
crazy.
scare off a bunch of our long-time paying customers. Well, how do we fix that? We'll raise prices. Brilliant. Yes,
Yeah.
let's increase prices again.
That'll bring them all back.
And because I can't see anything, did anybody say anything in chat besides you guys? Was there anybody else?
Well, I wasn't
Any
looking.
questions? Any questions we didn't answer?
No. Brett Lang jumped in, just made some comments. Said something about fucking tourists and left.
Right on. I don't know who that is, but right on. That's cool. That was kind of the whole point too, is to get roasted. So.
By the way, please make sure you keep a link of this handy, so if somebody ever calls you a tourist. You're a
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I thought about, I don't know, I wanted to pin it to my Twitter, but I was like, I really don't want to lose that picture. But I don't know. I mean, because it's the only, well, I guess I could save it.
Yeah, just keep it handy, because next time somebody calls you a tourist, or how much, if you really put that much into the hobby, no.
No, not at all, bro. I don't even know. Who's that horse guy again? Horse what?
Lubrider.
Horace Lubriderm, yes.
Or ass. There it is.
That's
Even better.
Or ass. The slim leave, I guess.
Oh
Had to go.
I think so.
Oh well.
His wife saw this and went, no, you're not hanging around with him anymore.
He's like, but I can do this with BattleTech. I don't have to do 40K. No.
Oh my god.
That'd be
Can you imagine this much in BattleTech? I mean,
I don't think there's that much. That's the problem. I mean, people tend to, when they get a mech model, it stays their mech model forever. So even if you come up with an updated, you're like, yeah, but I like this. You know what I mean? Yeah. So a Warhammer is a Warhammer is a Warhammer. It doesn't matter. Even if the weapon system's on a change, you still look at it and go, that's a Warhammer.
Question I have is, do I rate to say that I have all the Warhammers?
Dude, you still have other people's Warhammers. Okay? Let's just be honest. You got all the Warhammers.
You did.
Do what? Say it again. I didn't understand
I
you.
said you not only have all the Warhammers, you took some other people's shit too.
So Rune, did
Like,
you really think it was this bad?
You remember
Rune,
I
did
had seen part of it, but I had never seen it kind of like all in one go. It was like, oh my god.
Well, and I mean, to be fair, I mean, you saw when I had wires hanging down here just a few days ago, and this wasn't painted. I mean, I've done all this in the last few days, busting my ass because I wasn't going to get on.
Inside the room.
Oh, yes, you have. Yeah. Yeah. I'll put it this way for those interested. Just look up one of the things in there that's in there is an M1A2 Barrett 50 cal.
Yes.
Oh
my gosh.
M18A2 Barrett 50 cal.
It's just more fucking models. He's lying.
I mean, I'm planning on trying to put it on a Land Raider, but it might be a little too heavy. I don't know. It might break the Land Raider. It's only 40 pounds.
Only.
It was one of the main ones I carried most of my career. So, but yeah, I mean, Metronoid. So this is an old part I had back when we could have, looted tanks for orcs and stuff. So now I'm going to seal this up, and I'm going to make an entire one-piece mold of this Lehman Russ. I may have more tanks than I know what to do with.
Well, make it looted tanks.
Well, you can't play with it though.
Go back to the 5th edition rule.
I still like your idea of turning trash truck into an orc vehicle.
Oh, dude, my wife will kill me if I do that. She'll be like, "Why did you?" I mean, when trash truck got broken the other day, she was like, "Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do?" And I was like, "I can glue this." And she's like, "Are you sure?"
I'm still trying to figure out how trash truck, a one-piece plastic, got broken in half.
Because the inside was honeycomb, and I don't think it was actually one piece. I thought it was, but I think he printed it as two and glued it. But this is all like 3D printed Warhound.
It's literally like the joke about putting the private in the room with the canteen and the steel ball.
Yeah.
See, what if you ever want to test something? You give it to a private in the military, and the joke is you could put a brand new private in an empty room, lock the door. Only thing in there is the private, a canteen full of water, and a solid steel ball.
There you go, GW.
You come back in an hour, the ball is broke in half, the canteen is empty, the lid is missing, and the kid has no idea how any of it happened.
Right.
It's just literally what happened to Trash Truck, man.
This is a 3D printed Warhound, Mars pattern Warhound head and carapace on the back. That was not quite to the standard that the guy who did it wanted it, and he still gave it to me to use like this.
It looks great.
Use it like this guy as terrain. And he gave me all the old parts. But if people were able to 3D print this, dude, you're in trouble, GW. I'm sorry.
Well, they deserve to be in trouble at this point.
I mean,
look at this foot, dude. Look at this foot. Not only that, actually, where is it? It's in this box. He made me the foot that I needed. I didn't want two flat feet. Flat feet, get it? See that? But where is it? Well, anyway, he made me one where the toes were like this was here, and the toes reached down, like where it was walking, like that, and it was really awesome. So,
I mean,
yeah,
the recasters are now beating GW's quality, because one of the recasters, I think Russian, I bought from them two Custodes Gearfalcon jet bikes, and after putting one together from GW, from an original Forgeworld one, I can tell you that the quality of the recast is better than the GW original. Less warping, less gaps to fill, tighter tolerances, and overall better quality. And right now they are offering sprue quality casting.
wow.
One of the things that I don't remember who it was. It was a YouTuber, and he was simping hard for GW and was going on and on about, I don't know why everybody's so infatuated with 3D printing. To this day, GW still does the best, plastic work, and I'm like, dude, you're so full of shit. I've seen better plastic work on a Revell model from the 70s. Some of their stuff looks like shit. I'm sorry, but
These guys are not female. They're not female. I'll die on that hill.
No, they're trans.
Oh my god.
Just
Trans
do you know who It's a Gundam is?
Yes.
Yes.
He's
Yes,
cool.
I like his stuff.
He has a dedicated channel for Gunpla models. It's a Gunpla, and the last video he made was a review of I think $850 3D printer, and effectively what he said was making me tingle to buy this shit and ignore GW and I have all my needs fulfilled for time eternal.
Yeah.
Because it's a big investment, but it effectively makes away with all the middlemen.
I was going to say, think about, it's a big investment, but how far would $850 go with prices the way they are in GW, much less the price hike?
Not very high.
It wouldn't buy you, what, a 500-point army at this point, would it?
Maybe.
Maybe.
500,
When I was looking at combat patrols a couple months ago, I think the lowest I saw was like 160.
Yeah. My grandson was, I took him on his birthday, or right around his birthday, shopping, gave him some money, and he goes running right in and goes right to the combat patrol, the one with the Space Marines and the Tyranids. I think it's the Ultramarine and Tyranid, or no, maybe just Nids. Yeah, and it was $160, and you're just looking at it, and I'm like, okay, this is a hard lesson to learn at 15, but
Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations, your hobby is crazy expensive. Perhaps something more like crack or meth.
I mean,
Yeah,
listen,
like if I were to take Oddball up on his offer of printing a like Alpha Legion, like even just like a little starter army, I don't know what he charges, but from what I hear from other people, like it would be like a handful of bucks in comparison.
Yeah, Oddball,
Who is it?
I don't think he's Oddball. He's with the Legion.
yes.
I need to get in touch with him then, because I want an Alpha Legion army, but I don't want it to be generic chaos.
And
Yeah.
and he's also a big fan of 40K, plays 40K, makes and paints figures. He's not just some rando 3D printer. You know what I mean?
Then tell him he needs to watch my video and say, look, right over here, hold on, there's a spot for Alpha Legion.
Yeah.
And he's old. I mean, he's older than you or I, Badger. So he's like an old timer.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm down, dude. I just realized it's amazing. I realize, and I'm gonna have to go here soon, but I realize after doing this, I don't know how many steps I've taken, but this is a lot of shit.
Really? You just noticed?
In a way, you forget sometimes when you don't come down here. I guess.
Yeah, I know. It's like when I go. It's like when and I know it's not even close to me in comparison. But when I go into my 40K book collection, both the tabletop rules and PDFs and the novels, and I start flipping through and I'm scrolling and I'm like, oh my god, I have a problem.
And dude, I got 440 Skaven I got to put together. That is going to be tedious.
Oh, I am still looking at maybe trying out at least one round of Wrath and Glory. So.
Okay.
And I mean, I know the time isn't really useful for you. They're our European friend, but you're welcome to join.
Unfortunately, I couldn't find a service of a copy of the second edition Wrath and Glory.
I found one.
For you.
I lucked out.
You found one?
I found one. Yeah.
Bless you, because what I found was all the same brown background, black lettering.
Yeah, that's so. But I found that, and like I said, I've got most of the books. I've got a couple others I'm going to pick up next week. I'm actually going to have to pay for those.
Oh.
But yeah, I know that sucks. But yeah, so you're more than invited to play as well, as are you. But,
She's gonna be aggressing in amongst Space Marines.
It's pretty cool. It's 6-sided dice. Everything is D6. So.
Well, guys, I have to actually go now because I've got some dogs coming in. I got to go do some pee. I wanted to say thank you to everybody who watched. Yes.
Are you finished with the Warhammer Fantasy rulebooks and army books?
I believe so. I mean, unless you uploaded more in the last few days.
No. Just Mars asking for the 4 series of flag books from Forgeworld. And I was thinking about doing the switch up.
Go right ahead. Let me know.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting those either.
Okay, I will do that.
And of course, we're doing this 100% above board Bob, the alphabet agent, listening in on this right now.
I don't even care.
I know you don't.
All right, well, everyone, thank you. Yeah, and thank everybody for showing up. Thanks for the questions and the participation, and for anybody watching this in the future, or anybody that wants to put this out there, thank you for taking the time to watch, and I hope it was enjoyable for you too. And we'll see everybody.
This is what a tourist looks like.
Badger is a tourist.
Yep, Badger is a tourist. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Later.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, Badger. Now you can admit that you borrowed someone's room.